Look at him, he's heading for that small moon.
I think I can get him before he gets there. He's almost in range.
That's no moon. It's a space station.
What's up and what's going on, everyone? Fellow fanatics, appreciate everybody being here tonight. My apologies on the delay. I'm sorry. There were some, as you guys know, every time you guys are here, it's nothing new. You guys know there's always some type of technical difficulties. Oh shit, I didn't adjust Q's camera. My apologies there too. It's been crazy. You guys know every single time that you're here, there's always going to be there's always something. There's always something going on. Let me fix his camera really quick, though.
I think that was still on another computer screen.
Let me pan him real quick. Look at me. Henry taught me how to do that.
Oh, shit.
I know y'all normally probably thinking, oh, damn, if it's messed up, no Henry. All right, Q is in. He's good. Anyway, as you guys always know, there's always some type of something going on the behind the scenes part before we come on here. But before we do start, I do want to say that I appreciate every single one of you. The ones that are in the chat, but I'm not even the chat. I'm not even talking about the chat. Before I get to the chat, I'm talking about on Twitter today. The love that I have received from you guys on Twitter today is ridiculously insane. I appreciate it so much, especially when it comes to the recast stuff, and that has been the bulk of everything that has been said to me on Twitter today. And as far as recasts, as far as what you guys are saying about this most recent video I just uploaded, I appreciate that so very much, and it's always noticed, and I'm always humbled by it. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys being here. Neris was first in the chat. Appreciate you being here. You beat Kenny. Andre, appreciate it. Zang Beto, appreciate you. Gray, Green Region Drag, Sir Yuri G, SB Flash, Official Liam G, Dougie Fresh, Ashera, appreciate you being here. Appreciate all you guys being here tonight. Before we get into everything that we're going to get into today, if you would like to join our Discord, you can. The link should be in the bio. It is the easiest way for us to get in contact with you when we do giveaways, so you can send us your mailing information. Also, there is a growing community, vastly growing community that has conversations in there 24/7. And if you feel like you would like to join one of those conversations, or you have something to add to conversations, it is a community that, like I said, vastly growing. It's a great community. It's a good one to be a part of. So if you would like to be a part of that, you can do so. There's also a way that you can send us information if there's a topic that you feel we should be discussing on the show. I always say this. I think I'm going to stop saying that part with the Discord, though, because I always say the best way to get in contact with me is through my Twitter DMs. So that's going to be the best way to get in contact with me. So if you can send it there, you can send it here, wherever you would like to send it. Also, as you can see, we are still not back monetized. We will not be back monetized until a little bit. I think we have a few more days. So we have a few more days before we're back monetized. So the Streamlabs is pinned in the chat. If you feel that you would like to send a donation anytime through the chat or through the stream, you can just click on that link there and it'll take you to the Streamlabs. You can donate anything that you would like. That will pop up on the screen just like a super chat, and you can send in a question, comment, or just love if you would like. So again, we appreciate you guys being here. So before we get started, Q, how was your day?
Honestly, it was pretty boring for the most part. Starting the new year off, I got my boss is out of town, so I'm kind of just doing a bunch of spreadsheets and stuff, getting ready for him when he get back. We got a list of leads and stuff for appointments, so I've really just been doing a bunch of spreadsheets and computer work and paperwork and staying at home, not really doing nothing. So it's been a pretty boring week as a whole, but that's really it. I mean, ain't nothing new coming up this year yet.
Not yet. Not yet. Well, Bad Batch, well, again, you're not a Star Wars fan, but Bad Batch dropped last night. D-Stizzle, I don't know if you're watching or if he's in here. I don't think so. I didn't get to watch Bad Batch yet. I haven't watched it yet because I'm going to react, and I'm going to put that reaction out so you guys can see it and everything like that. But I haven't done Bad Batch yet. But one of the other things, too, though, what that Q said about things coming out, I don't know if anybody is a fan of You, but You is the new season of You is about to come out. I don't think it comes out in January. I think it comes out next month.
Yeah, I think that's February.
Yeah, I think it's next month.
Second week.
But the new season of You is coming out. But as far as my day, actually, since I told you guys, I'm in a new department, so my days are better. I'm in shipping, so I do deliveries all day. So I'm constantly all over Oklahoma, so I'm good. I had fun today alone in the car.
No, that's probably much more your type than sitting in a fucking office looking at shit all day. All day.
Touching people's fucking teeth that I don't care about.
Shit is, I'm knowing you ain't like that shit to begin with.
Yeah. So my boss, like I said, my boss, that's why we didn't stream last night, because my boss called me while I was literally I was preparing the thumbnail. He called me and then he hung up because I thought maybe an accident. So I texted him. I said, "Did you mean the call?" He calls me back and he's like, "What are you doing? You about to go live?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm about to. What's up?" And he was like, "Can you go live from from floor seats at the Thunder game?" I was like, yeah, I can. So that was an experience, bro. I've never sat floor seats. I've never sat floor.
Fucking worked. You went to a game, damn.
Yeah, and a good game.
I'm saying
they actually.
Boston. I mean, not Boston.
Not on Boston's
took a night off.
Yeah, not on Boston's part.
I don't think I've ever seen Oklahoma City drop 150.
I've never seen them play like that. No, I said last night, I haven't seen them play like that since Katie and Russ were.
I don't even, dead ass, every player I think had 15.
Everybody.
I was watching this shit holy hell.
Yeah. The one dude, what's his name from 76ers? He was traded to the
Isaiah
Thunder.
Joe is so nasty.
Oh my, I was put on to him last night.
I've been telling you, Isaiah Joe is so nasty.
I was like, this nigga right here is tough.
No, he was hooping with Philly and these motherfuckers cut him. Because I remember I first seen him in the bubble and he was hooping. Then he didn't have a roster, and then Philly picked him up and they cut his ass. And OKC picked him. I was like, oh yeah, they done did it again. That's all OKC do is pick niggas up until this little tank thing is over, where they get rid of at least after this draft season they'll take at least 3-4 more picks. But I mean, until then, they're not trying to win, so now they're just looking for hoopers. I mean, that just go out there and do whatever it's so they can trade for more picks or keep them. So, I mean, they definitely got... It's crazy because he's not the only one on their bench that you look at.
Not.
He's like, he can hoop. I don't know how they don't win.
Aaron Wiggins?
Yeah, no, they must not try to win.
I'm telling you, bro, I've never seen the Thunder play the way they played last night. I was like... I told my boss, I said, if they played like this consistently, they could be a playoff contending team.
They'd compete,
without a doubt. Yeah, without a doubt.
Grand Region Thrag, don't lie. Isaiah Joe he was hooping. That's Doc Rivers in Philly not letting the youngins hoop. They got the same issue now.
Bro, he was hooping last night. He was hooping. His first few points, I was like, okay. No, but when he picked it up, I was like, who is this?
Yammed on that.
Yeah. Oh my! I stood up on now. I was was like, my God. But not just that. Like Trey Man played good. Like but Trey Man played good. Like he was. Where was he at? Yeah, that's what I thought. Florida. That's what I thought. He was at Florida. Yeah. Trey Man looked good last night. Yeah.
No, they all can hoop, and I don't even think. Did Shea play last night? I don't.
Shea wasn't even there.
I was about to say
Shea wasn't even there. Lindy wasn't there either, and I was like, "Where's Lindy? Where's Trey? Where's Shea?"
Yeah, that's odd. I don't know what because Shea got dunked on tonight. I just seen him driving over here, so he wasn't hurt last night. He just took a night off, I guess.
And last thing I'm gonna say about it, because again, I don't know, everybody's probably not a sports fan like that, but I know that OKC wants Chet to come be like the next great thing.
Yeah.
He's not.
Nah.
I mean, and I say that because I saw Chet. I've seen Chet play. I've seen Chet in person play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Three levels, high school, college, and
yeah. And my cousin played against Chet. My cousin plays for Creighton. Yeah, and did Chet, and it's like, I don't know, bro. I'll tell you what. With his size, he's not doing anything with anybody.
Thing is, if he's mobile, he just gotta change the floor defensively.
But he's got bricks on his feet.
That's if he's mobile. If he's mobile enough to change it defensively, I mean, anyone 7'3" should be able to go get you 10 to 14 efficiently. And then maybe if he does have the outside jumper, I think it depends on how good their guard play is. That always, when I look at a big, and they got good enough guards to get him open shots and stuff. So I mean,
they do.
It just depends on how they use him, but just look how everyone wants him to be, all-star, next great big and everything. I'm not looking like that, but I mean, for what they need him to be, definitely think he can do that. Because
you let OKC fans tell it. The big three is him, Giddey, and Shea.
You let OKC fans tell you anything.
Oh, Giddey.
They'll go. They'll see. Niggas thought Darius Baisley was KD when they drafted him.
Did.
You let OKC fans tell you anything.
They did. But yeah. But we do have actual channel-related news to talk to you guys about today. We're going to get into Dave Bautista, who did an interview with GQ and basically said, "Peace out, Marvel Cinematic Universe. I am no longer going to be Drax."
Done with the city.
Yeah, he's not, and he's also not under contract. So Dave Bautista is free to say what he wants. This one, I have so much to say when we get to it. It's wild. Ezra Miller's DC future seems to be safe. Seems like after The Flash comes out, they will continue on as The Flash in the reboot for James Gunn's DC universe. That's wild to me. Jeremy Renner, we're going to talk about the updates for him. As you know, on New Year's Day, he was in the snow plowing accident and was in critical condition, but has since alerted us with that Twitter picture that he put out saying that he was, hurting, but he appreciates everybody in the prayer. So we're going to talk about the updates there. And then the big thing, and I mean big thing, is the Secret Wars character returns and some of the things that are going to be going on in Secret Wars. Some of the wild rumors and some of the things that the scoopers are even talking about. Not just My Time to Shine, hello. I'm talking about all of them. So it's pretty, that one's wild. So we'll get into all those things with you guys. I saw Cornelius come in. Let me address Raymond, because Raymond came in and said, "Hello, people. Hey, Q. Hey, Bougie Darius." The bougie, y'all have been dragging that out.
Part of the hood no more, buddy.
They've been dragging that out on Cornelius. Even put it on Twitter. Like it's
bougie, just everything.
Yeah.
Can't do nothing.
I'm not. Like I said, I'm not bougie. I'm particular. I'm particular. But let's get into some of these things here. So. Let's move to Dave Bautista first. So, as everybody knows, I am. Is that TV on there? Do me a favor and turn that on for me. It's the top button.
On the right side?
On the other side. So just, top one. Okay. as everybody already knows, I've said this many times. We've talked about Guardians many times. Both of the Guardians films I adore. I think Guardians 1 is brilliant. I think Guardians 2, as I've said, the third act for me, I don't really care for it, but I think Guardians 2 is also brilliant. Those are two Marvel films that I can watch over and over and over again. And we've also talked at length about Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and some of the things that are going to be going on in that. We saw the trailer that looked phenomenal. I thought that some of the things that happened in the trailer, some of the photography and things like that, cinematography and things like that, and the lines that were said, it looks like it's definitely going to be pulling at the heartstrings. These are all things we've talked about. We've also talked about, or James Gunn has also said that this is the last time that we're going to see this iteration of the Guardians team. So the next time that we do see this Guardians team, it's going to be completely different. And we also know that the actresses that play Mantis and Nebula have said that they read the script, and when reading the script, they were weeping after reading it, indicating that somebody, appreciate the subscription, indicating that somebody is going to be dying. And James Gunn, I think, even said that himself, that someone was going to be dying. And for the longest, I've said it's either going to be Drax. No, I said it's going to be Drax. Drax is one of them, because we heard there might be two people that die. Drax is one of them. And then it was that whole, damn, is Rocket the other? Yeah, I hope it's not Rocket. But all the emphasis on Rocket in the trailer, and some of the lines they had him saying in the trailer, made it seem like Rocket might be that one. But also, so the way Dave, and I'm going to get to it, I'm going to read it. The way Dave Bautista kind of worded it, it's seeming, well, let me put it this way. Not in this interview. This was in a tweet from in May of 2021. Dave Bautista tweeted that, don't worry, Drax is going to be continuing on in the MCU. This guy just won't be playing him. So I don't know if Drax dies. I don't know. I don't know if Drax dies anymore. I know I was pretty confident in saying that that he was going to be the one that died, but I don't know if he dies anymore. But Dave Bautista also did an interview with GQ, and in that interview with GQ, these are some of the things he had to say. After 9 years, 6 movies, and a holiday special on Disney Plus, Bautista is bidding farewell to Drax. While admitting he's grateful to have played the character, Bautista pointed out that there is a relief that it's over. Nothing that it wasn't all pleasant due to makeup processes. So he's talked about that. He's talked about how he hated the makeup process of getting into the character of Drax and things. It goes on to say, Bautista also said he doesn't know if he wants Drax to be his legacy. Instead, the former WWE champion shared that he wants to do more dramatic stuff. This is Bautista talking. He said, I'm so grateful for Drax. I love him, but there's a relief that it's over. It wasn't all pleasant. It was hard playing that role. The makeup process was beating me down, and I just don't know if I want Drax to be my legacy. It's a silly performance, and I want to do more dramatic stuff. Then it goes on to say, landing the role of Drax was not easy for Bautista, as he endured months of repeat auditions for Disney. This is on top of rumors of bigger names that he was reportedly in competition with for the part. Bautista shared that he was in a car on his way to the gym when he found out that he got the job to play the Marvel hero. The actor reflected on the emotional moment, and he said this, I had to pull over because I was crying so hard, turned right back around and walked into my house shaking and to tell my wife I had gotten the role, and we were both standing there freaking out. Yeah. It's funny what people will say when they are no longer under contract. Yeah. And these are things we've talked about too. Him saying that it's a silly role and things like that, he's not lying. I mean, it's not him wanting, he said he wishes he could play more, or he wants to start playing more serious roles. And I think that's a complaint that people have when it comes to James Gunn's iteration of the Guardians, is Drax. That's
was going to be my question. Do you think he knew what they were going to... Do you think he knew Drax at all
I don't think so.
Before getting into the role?
I don't think so.
If he did, do you think he knew that, this is going to be a goofy-ass Drax the Destroyer, not comic source Drax?
I don't think he knew who Drax was, and I think what we got is what he knew about. I think that's how they pitched it to him. Yeah. I think they pitched the funny. They pitched him as the comedic relief in the film and things like that. But if they just would have stuck to the source material,
I mean, they gave us Drax, no destroyer. They just took the destroyer out and gave us Drax, anything goofy from the comics he's been in, which is very little. That's why he's not in the MCU or anything. Like, very little or anything. So it's just, they literally took out, like you said, all the source material with him be damned. So I don't understand why he would want to continue playing this, how they gave him the role and everything. But, I mean, I don't see them continuing Drax at all just because he doesn't bring in any money. They have source material they don't stick to for him and stuff like that. So it's just like, they have characters like Groot where it's like not too much source material because they've changed them all the way that they can do whatever with.
Right.
And it's like, we're just now getting to the third movie where they'll show us how Rocket was created and everything, but we don't know if they're going to stick to source material on that. So we know that they have characters that they can change and profit off of and stuff, but with Drax, it's not something. So it's just like, would they want to continue Drax if Bautista wasn't playing him?
Here's the thing.
Like, if they heard, because I mean, they know, but I figured James Gunn knows Bautista doesn't want to play Drax anymore. So I mean, I feel like
James Gunn's farewell as well.
I was gonna say, I feel like they came to that decision let's just kill Drax off, not even make him anyone else's problem. If you don't want to play him no more, let's just be done.
If they don't kill him off, and we are to believe the tweet that Bautista tweeted out saying, somebody else is going to play him. I've seen the conversation. Well, I'm not even going to get to that part yet. But I mean, could you continue the character on? Of course, just recast him, bring somebody else in. But are you bringing in that exact same Drax? And then again, can you? I don't know because you can't have another. I mean, you can have somebody else come be the character, but they would have to keep it on par with what Bautista and James Gunn already laid out in order for it to make sense.
That's what I'm saying. Like, is it even worth it?
At that point, no.
They make it like, let's just kill Drax off. Like,
at that,
we're not going to put that problem on someone else, and then
they
already have this whole little fan, because there's MCU fans that this is Drax, this is what he is, and everything. So I mean, like, there's no use in putting that problem off on someone else and changing everything in the universe. I mean, I just don't think he's an important enough character to them to want to do like a variant of him and show us what he is, like comic source material wise or like that. So, I mean, I definitely would just still stick to the opinion that it's his final movie. Not just Bautista's, but we probably won't see Drax again for.
So you're sticking with Drax is going to die?
Yeah, we won't see Drax unless he comes back and voices something in What If or something. But I think this movie will definitely be Drax, and I can't say Rocket's dying. I still can't, just cause, like I said, he's able to be pluggable in movies and stuff with Marvel, and they can plug him into stuff and profit off of him and sell stuff. So I mean, I just don't see them killing off Groot or Rocket. I honestly think it's gonna be Quill, just because Quill
is one I think too.
This flushed out story we've gotten everything we can got from Quill, in my opinion.
Yeah, Quill's one I think a little too. He might be one that doesn't make it out, but it's interesting. So those are the things kind of going on with that Dave Bautista had to say there. Like I said, I thought that when he said that, also with the tweet that was revealed from 2021 and things like that, that was him kind of confirming that he's on his way out, or it could have been him saying that, the other one too. But I'm more inclined to believe that he is on his way out, and that Drax is going to be the one. So, but we'll see. When does that come out? That's in what, May? May. We will see that in May. Oh, I did not even have that up, but that's okay. But as always, questions for you guys. Let us know down below in the comments what you guys are thinking about some of the comments that Bautista made there when he was saying that, somebody else is gonna Drax is on, or he's on his way out, but somebody else is gonna continue playing Drax. And some of the things that he was saying there about, the wanting to do more serious roles. The role was too silly for him as Drax and things like that. Let us know down below what you guys are thinking of that. What are the comments saying?
Justin Mercado said Drax could kick rocks. Honestly, I'd be genuinely surprised if Drax survives in this movie. If Dave doesn't want to continue the part, then good riddance, or at least just get someone who actually wants to do the role.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is him. He simply doesn't want to do it anymore.
No, he doesn't. I mean, it's not just... I think, too, with Gunn leaving, he really doesn't want to. Because you remember when Disney fired Gunn, Dave went on his rant at Disney and was saying, you know, I'm with James Gunn and fuck y'all, basically, and I'm going to do this with him and blah, 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 blah. But then when James Gunn came back, it was all resolved. But then there was the whole issue of him not even voicing Drax and What If, where someone asked him about it on Twitter, and he said he didn't even know about it, or he wasn't asked. And then James Gunn was like, you know, what? You know, James Gunn constantly interacting on Twitter. So, of course, I think he's giving the huge. That's why I said it's interesting when contracts are up. I think he's going to say more, and I think he's done with the mouse or with Marvel.
Sir Yuri G said, I honestly like Dave as an actor, though. Truthfully, he's a really good, diverse actor, in my opinion.
He has played in some, outside of Drax and the MCU, he's played in some good things. Like, I know he's played in Glass Onion. Isn't he in...
There's a new movie coming out.
In one of the 007. Yeah, the new movie he's starring in. Something in the cabin.
Yeah.
Cabin something. Yeah. He's in that.
That should look...
He's in...
look good.
Yeah, he's in Dune. He's been in some credible things. I mean, small roles in them, but some credible things.
John Cena ain't done anything better or anything. So,
no.
I mean, they're in the same little pool of just wrestlers gone acting.
No, he's been that, but this GQ interview, he said a lot of shit. Like, he was like, I never wanted to be the fucking Rock or whatever. I read it.
I just want to be a good actor.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want to be remembered for, like, silly Drax, which is understandable.
That is understandable.
It's not like he's Drax. Like I say, he's just silly.
It's
old
because
Drax.
the character he's playing, it's not memorable. Like, anytime we think Drax, I think Wise Gamora.
Yeah.
I think, the funny.
Or I'm standing so still.
Yeah.
Like that shit, like.
Yeah, I don't ever think. Man, you remember when Drax jumped on dude's back with those?
Just started.
Man, that was dope. I don't ever think about that, so I don't blame him.
That's funny. Raymond said, I think Rocket dies, and I think maybe Kraglin dies. He said in this quote that there's a possibility where Drax could be recasted, which to me sounds like Drax doesn't die. But for Quill, I'd like to see him reunite with his Earth family. We haven't seen that resolved. Like, maybe let his surviving family know he's not dead or he didn't run away. He's actually alive.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, no.
I would like to see that.
Wrapping up or filling some plot holes. Because we know, like you said, James Gunn is gone and everything. So just filling some stuff that he wrote and everything wouldn't be an issue with me. Scroll back up. Raymond also said Drax should have maintained that serious tone he held in the first Guardians of the Galaxy. I feel like that underlying plot and motive to kill Thanos should have been explored way more than we got.
Right. I agree.
D. Steezel said MCU Drax is not even human. He's not Arthur Douglas with a daughter, Heather.
Say that one more time.
MCU Drax is not even human. He's not Arthur Douglas with a daughter, Heather.
Right. Yeah. No. Definitely not Drax. That
ain't
we all know.
None of the Guardians source material. I don't think.
Not really. It's James Gunn. And I'm gonna say this too before you read that about Guardians. I'm not going into Guardians expecting it to widen the multiversal stuff going on or the anything in the MCU really like that, because as Kevin Feige has said, and as they even put on the poster, this is a James Gunn film.
Yeah.
It's a farewell. So I don't expect it to be that at all.
It's the third movie in a trilogy, so
yeah,
just wrapping up their story and everything. I don't expect it to be much to Phase 5, but more to end their little trilogy and everything.
Yeah.
Gray said James Gunn was all over the interpretation of Drax.
Yeah, for sure.
He's it's just, I don't, like I said, with his Guardians, with what they built, Drax fits. I don't mind it. it is what it is.
Yeah.
As I say all the time with my new saying with the MCU, it is what the fuck it is.
They're gonna do what they want to do.
D. Steezel said even Drax in the Guardians of the Galaxy video game killed Thanos in the storyline. I just download that game and I've heard a lot of good things about. I'm about to.
I've heard a lot of good things about that game.
This is off topic, but Andre said congrats on winning Channel of the Year in 2022.
Thank you,
And, yeah,
Andre.
Appreciate
We
that. And
Appreciate
shout out to
that.
them for
Yeah.
sliding us that.
Shout out to Perp Show for the award, and because like I said, I was shocked. I was like,
Yeah, no. I
Yeah,
checked Twitter and seen.
yeah, I didn't.
So I was like,
Yeah, so we definitely appreciate that, and we're gonna try to up the game in 2023 so that channel can be bigger and better.
a couple more. Raymond said, "I'm not." Damn, I want to scroll all the way up. I'm not expecting Guardians of the Galaxy to blow me away. None of them have fully. I mean, they are cool movies, but I mean, I'm not expecting to be amazed, wowed, or anything. I'm there for the entertainment. James Gunn could do a good Ed, and Eddie movie. That's basically how stupid some of his comedy is.
He said an Ed and Eddie movie.
No, there is some shit in there where I'm like, bro, James Gunn has adults saying some of this shit or like doing some of this shit. I'm just like, it's kind of corny. Like, I think the only films this year, officially MG said, I think the only films this year involving multiverse is Ant-Man and the Marvels.
Yeah, I would probably
And
agree
if
with
we
that.
get anything
Well,
in
we have-
Loki's TV show, but I haven't heard good things about season 2 of Loki.
We have a plot leak for the Marvels.
I did see that as well.
Brace yourselves. It's in the conversation when we get to the new characters because it involves the Marvels. It involves incursions. The Marvels will be the first film where we see what incursions look like. And not only that, from what we've heard, Marvel has put a lot of emphasis on that scene, on this whole thing for the incursion. It's supposed to be cinematically beautiful. I mean, take away the two planets colliding and millions dying, but it's supposed to be cinematically beautiful.
Mass
With
genocide.
with-
That
with-
is an incursion.
with what it's gonna look like. So, and it's supposed to take place within the Marvels. So we'll see there. But yeah, I want to read what Ashra said. Ashra said, "Is Midnight Suns a mobile or console game?" Midnight Suns is a console. Is it
coming
console?
out on console,
Yeah.
but
The mobile
looking
one
to
is what
buy
is that?
that-
Marvel Snap.
Marvel Snap, yeah. If you're looking to buy the Midnight Suns, I don't know. That does not look too well to me.
Yeah, I've heard
They've
it's like
switched a lot of stuff
card
up.
type of. Like it's weird. Henry said he would never play. Henry plays
The
games,
Marvel
so
Snap or the Midnight Suns?
Midnight Suns.
Yeah, I didn't like the way it looked.
Yeah, Henry said anybody that his words. So he said anybody that downloads that game is a fucking moron and they're wasting their money. So I just said, okay,
I'd co-sign
you're the
that,
game
though.
guy, you know. So
I'd co-sign that. I didn't like the way it looked. You
no, it
remember I
doesn't
sent
look
the group
good.
chat that
Yeah,
little
yeah.
trailer? I'm like, what
Yeah, no,
the fuck
it
is this?
it looks it doesn't look good at all. It looks very PS2-y. Yeah, it looks like those days.
Timmy Pierce said world-ending catastrophes are super cool.
That's what it's supposed to. That's what's supposed to be there. So your G said if y'all haven't played the God of War Guardians of the Galaxy game, do it ASAP.
I
Yeah,
haven't downloaded. I might hop on that.
I'm gonna have Kellen's console here soon, and like there's gonna be streams where I come on and I'll game and just answer questions. But I'm talking about even streams where we're all here and we can. I saw John do this, and I'm not trying to take it from John, but it is a good. I liked the idea. But I mean, it's not like John. It's not. This is people like Twitch people. So Twitch.
John has inspired us, mate,
Sure, sure.
to say the least.
But yeah, I like game and stuff, and have and answer questions, or just do the show and stuff. But yeah. So I'll have that soon and be playing games. So I'll do that one for sure, Sir Yuri G. Is that it on everybody? I think that we're good.
We're pretty much caught up on everything. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cleve17 said, it's crazy how PlayStation has the best Marvel game, SMH, which is Spider-Man, right?
Kenny said uninstalls Midnight Suns quickly and quietly. No, I mean, if you have it downloaded, play it and let me know how it is, honestly, because I haven't, like, seen any gameplay on anything. I just didn't think it looked good, so I didn't go for it.
This is off the rails, but Chill Spot, I would too, and I would enjoy it very, very much if James Gunn was to direct an Ed, Edd n Eddy movie. Do you know how wild Ed, Edd n Eddy was already wild? A wild show on Cartoon Network.
That show would be so
imagine
funny.
him.
Suicide Squad and that shit.
Ashra said he left a Joker comment.
Ashra said, have you guys heard of the Pregnant Joker comic? No, I have not.
I have not. Why is the Joker pregnant?
Didn't.
I have not. Yeah, no. Why? I'm asking. Why is he pregnant? I haven't heard of that. I hope not. I hope he's not. He shouldn't be.
I don't know why. It's so funny.
But we'll move. Ashra, when he puts that in the chat, let me know. But we'll move to the.
You waiting on the nigga to answer?
I want to know. I want to know. I'm curious. I'll look it up.
Shit.
I'm curious. I want to know what led up to the pregnancy. Why is he like?
Ain't no way that nigga pregnant. That's crazy.
Raymond said you'd have to put CJ on whoever the cast of Ed, Edd n Eddy is because they need to loom kind of disconnected and clueless. Maybe an animated. Oh, yeah, definitely an animated movie. Not live action. Don't ruin it. No.
Live action Plank.
Do you? Yeah, that'd be weird. Do you remember
the when Ed? Off topic again. You remember the movie where Eddie's brother showed up? Like it was the bro. Ed, Edd n Eddy
that show was so fucking.
Ed, Edd n Eddy was one of my favorite shows on Cartoon Network growing up. I loved Ed, Edd n Eddy.
Good show. Okay, there it is. Asher said apparently DC made a comic about him pregnant. Huh. I'm definitely going to look into that. That's interesting. Zatanna cast a spell on the Joker. Is that like his? Oh, or is that real? Did you read this? Is that
Humor or is that real?
I don't know. He said Zatanna cast a spell.
I don't know. I'm dead ass looking into it.
Oh, okay.
It's not a parody.
Oh, okay. Well,
He
Near
gives-
said,
and he
what
gives
a man
birth.
and woman love each other very much. They make a baby. Yeah, but not
Where the Joker. Now, if you would have said, "Have you seen the comic where Harley Quinn's pregnant?" we wouldn't be having this conversation.
I mean,
But you said, "Have you seen the comic where Joker's pregnant?"
he gives birth to a mud monster clone of himself that becomes his son.
Well, that is a path with DC.
a joke. it's a joke in itself, isn't it?
Oh, D Stizzle said it's real too. Yeah, that's a path with DC. I don't
I ain't
want to
tapping
read,
into that one.
but we'll move to
Ezra Miller. Now this one's going to be interesting, and I want to make sure that I get this absolutely correct here for Ezra.
Make sure you guys can see this too. Okay. So I'd honestly, let me start this because I've gone pretty hard on Ezra before. And I don't want to, I'm not going to, but I do want to, this is wild to me. This is absolutely insane. So I'd honestly say that 2022 was Ezra's year. It is when it comes to the headlines. When it comes to headlines, they were charting they were at the top every time. And I want to, if you're new here, if this is your first day on Earth, because you may not know, if this is your first day on Earth and you've not heard shit for shit about what Ezra Miller has been up to, I will give you a quick timeline here. All right, here we go. June 2011, Ezra Miller is charged with marijuana possession. April 2020, Ezra Miller appears to choke a woman outside a bar. We remember there's video of it, so we've all seen it, all right?
January 2022, Ezra Miller delivers a cryptic message to the Ku Klux Klan. I saw the video. I didn't mind it. It's okay. I let that one slide. March 2022, Ezra Miller is charged with disorderly conduct and harassment. All right? We remember that one. Because this is when we all started making videos about what they were doing and why they were in the headlines and things like that. Here we go. March 2022 again. Within the same month, Ezra Miller gets a restraining order filed against him. I'm pretty sure this is when they were terrorizing Hawaii. Mm-hmm. And this is the couple that they broke into the home. And yes, okay, I'm pretty sure that's that one. April 2022, Ezra Miller is arrested on a second-degree assault charge. All right. That was...
throwing the chair.
I believe so. I believe that was throwing the stool at the woman in the karaoke bar for singing karaoke. Mm-hmm. June 2022. Ezra Miller is accused of grooming. We were all there. We all talked about it. Dakota Iron Eyes, her parents accused them of grooming their child. June 2022, within the same month, another parent comes forward with allegations against Ezra Miller. Same thing. Let's move it again. August 2022, Ezra Miller is accused of burglary. We were all there. We discussed it at length. August 2022, Vermont State Police tried to serve an emergency care order to mother staying at Ezra Miller's home. We were there. It was when he was holding that family hostage in his barn. Okay?
With guns and weapons.
Yes.
And shit.
Again, August 2022, Ezra Miller reveals they're seeking treatment for complex mental health issues. We applauded that. We were there. We kept saying, why wasn't this done in 2011? All right. October 17th, 2022, last thing. Ezra Miller pleads not guilty to burglary charges in Vermont.
Before you even go on, I want to make it known how sick he is. Like they tweeted that they believe they are the Flash, that they are the Messiah.
Yes,
like that is the craziest shit I'll always remember. So like they were so sick to the point like they truly believe like they are the fucking role they are acting in real life. So I mean, it wasn't crazy to me to believe that all this was even not just allegations but true and everything. So I was just like, when I seen that tweet, I was just like, yep, guilty.
Yeah.
Sick, guilty,
yeah.
Get them help, them help, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, if you've been here, then you know. If this is your first day on Earth, welcome. This is the antics of Ezra Miller. But if you also know these antics of Ezra Miller, you can probably be thinking to yourself, this doesn't surprise you. But it seems like people over at Warner Brothers in DC are okay with Miller continuing on as Flash in the future of James Gunn's reboot. And I'm not just talking about him continuing on as the Flash in the Flash film coming out. When does it come out again? They changed it. June, right?
They pushed it up to June the 2nd, first.
Yes.
Like the 8th through 10th, is whatever that weekend is.
So they pushed the film up to now June. And I'm not talking about, he's going to be the Flash in that film and that's it. No. Continuing on as the Flash in the DCU new universe that James Gunn is putting together. And to me, with all the drama going on over at DC right now, you've got hashtag Fire James Gunn that's been trending. Whatever the other hashtag is for Warner Brothers. You've got the firing of Gal, Henry, and everybody else. You've got fans outraged about Henry. You've got James Gunn arguing with YouTubers on Twitter. You've got so much drama going on over there in the DC universe right now. You want to make it worse? You fired Henry Cavill after saying Henry Cavill was back. You had fans excited. As I've said many times, the reason I saw Black Adam, even though I had fun, Black Adam's a fun film. It's a good film. As I said this every time I talk about it. To me, it is the best action superhero film of the year, in my opinion. The story is shit, but the action's great. But I went for Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
I went to see Superman. I clapped and yelled when he came on the screen. Then, just for a week later, for Henry Cavill to get on
Instagram, post the video that he posted and say that he's not going to be returning as Superman. Then we got the tweets from James Gunn that said Henry Cavill will not be returning as Superman, but we are going to be casting a new Superman in our reboot. So you had fans outraged. You fired Henry Cavill. And if you keep Ezra Miller's Flash, the DCU it doesn't matter about the reboot at that point. At that point, it becomes... Remember the last time we were talking about... Because I'm trying to make sure I word this correctly. Remember the last time we were talking about this? And we were talking and we said, it's already muddy. It's already muddy over there with all the drama going on. It's already muddy because you got James Gunn arguing and answering everybody's damn questions on Twitter. Yeah. We don't know what's going on with this character and that character and things like that, even though they said it's going to be revealed in January. But you've got all this shit going on over there in the DC universe, in their reboot that hasn't even been rebooted yet. Yeah, the shit ain't even been off the ground yet, and it's already muddy. You keep him, it's sunk.
Yeah, and I saw official EMG said that James Gunn responded to a fan on his Twitter about, of course he did, and so I went and checked and everything, and a fan asked him, they said, can you discuss at all the report from Variety in regards to Ezra Miller? The notion is that your slate is only, or that he's in the slate and everything. He said, I don't know what's out there about Ezra, but our slate is 8 to 10 years. And so someone was saying that Ezra was in the projects and it's only 3 years worth of projects, but James Gunn confirmed it's 8 to 10 and then didn't deny or confirm if he's staying.
And I find that funny too. And I find that funny because James Gunn has no problem confirming or denying any other claims on Twitter. Because I've been told, well, let James Gunn tweet. Let him tweet. I've said, you are the president of a newly rebooted franchise. Get off of Twitter. Stop answering everybody's fucking questions. Stop arguing with YouTubers on Twitter. And if you're gonna, and the reason it bothers me is because every single time, like I said, he's had no problem denying or confirming it. This time, he's giving no answer for it. And it's like, I was under the assumption that it didn't matter whatever
happened.
That was it. That they were going to be gone. And I'm sorry. I really hate to do this. I hate to compare. But when you look at it, no, I'm not even going to compare it. Two different franchises, two different heads, two different studios. So I'm not even going to take it there. But I do not think... I think that it's extremely weird to keep them involved when you know that they were grooming children. And maybe it's not weird. Maybe it's not weird for Hollywood. Because we know that there are plenty of celebrities that have been involved with things with children or girls or sex trafficking or whatever it is. Careers are fine. Careers are still moving on. Things like that. So, but again, I will make this comparison because I make this comparison every time. This has nothing to do with the studio. I find it funny though. I find it fucking hilarious. But this is where that pigmentation comes in. I find it fucking hilarious that Will Smith went up on stage, slapped the man for his reasons that he had. The reasons he had, whether you agree with his reasons or not, the reasons he had. Slapped this man on national television. Y'all was ready to throw him in jail. You were ready to cancel him. You were saying no more projects.
Take that in career.
Take his career. He doesn't even deserve the award. All the shit that was said. But every single time, and I just named the list of things Miller has done. People came out, well, they're just misunderstood. Well, they've got mental health issues. We've all got, all of us, somewhere deep down something is mentally wrong. We've all got something going on. But at the end of the day, the mental health excuse, and I hate to even call it that, on his part I'm going to call it that, because every single time they do something, that is the well that they run to.
Yeah.
So, because I'll even say this, I've said this before, but Will Smith, he talked about his mental health issues that always seem to be negated. He talked about how he watched his mother being abused by his father and how he would never let another woman that he loved in his life go through abuse like that again, whether it be verbal, because it was verbal with his mother too, just as well as it was physical. We're not little kids. We all know how abuse works within a marriage or domestic abuse or whatever. We're all aware. But to ignore Will's and coddle Ezra's. But again, I know why. I know why. You know why.
Privilege.
We all know why.
That privilege.
Privilege is a thing, bro.
I mean,
it is.
And the only thing I really have to say is like two things is I don't agree with it for any reason, but specifically because it's just such a slap in the face to the actors that they just fired, but not even just the Henry Cavill or Gal Gadot and everything. Like, I'm talking about like the Batwoman TV show that was done, or other projects that they canceled that were done anything, but to not let them get their shine that they worked for and everything, but putting their work into the projects and everything that just got canceled, and then you hear all of this and you continue to keep Ezra knowing that you have the perfect chance to replace him, knowing you're about to start over and everything. It's just, I don't see why you wouldn't recast that specific character knowing you're restarting. Like, it's not the perfect reason. Whether they got help and they can continue everything, that's not the point. I mean, you're just restarting. I mean, it's just that plain and simple. But I mean, to hear that, I want to like touch back on the subject of you saying that they're grooming kids, and like to hear that someone's grooming kids, and you would even entertain the fact of keeping them in a role that entertains children, a children's role. Like we always say, these superhero projects are for children, and that's truly what they are. Like, we're adults talking about them because we truly kids still inside and everything, but all the new projects and the merch and the toys they come out, that stuff is for kids to buy and shit. So I mean, when you think about keeping an actor in a position to entertain children, with the allegations, that not even just allegate, like we know it's true, so it's just like, right. I don't understand that I couldn't even support that as a studio decision or anything. Whatever the reason may be, they were mentally sick and got help now. I mean, like you said, Like it is like mental health can be an excuse in my opinion, because at some point mental health doesn't excuse some crimes. And so it's just like, it can, like, yeah, you may need help and anything, but at the end of the day, every action has consequences. So Ezra's consequence may simply have to be that this movie, you better learn how to save some money after it, because I truthfully don't think they go forward with Ezra in anything, and I don't think anyone does. Just because whether they do get help or they are better or not, it's just a simple fact that knowing, I mean, it's a time bomb. You don't know what you're going to get next. You may get Ezra Miller donates entire Flash funds to charity, but then the next week you may get Ezra Miller threw someone's baby off a roof. Like, you truthfully never know what Ezra Miller's going to do. So you just can't continue to work with someone like that from a business standpoint. So I couldn't support that shit, and I'm not the smartest nigga in the world, so I couldn't see any rich businessman supporting that decision.
No.
And I don't think the Flash movie's gonna be super big like that. I mean, it'll be big, but I don't think it's gonna be specifically because of Ezra Miller.
Here's
like,
the thing.
It's been too long.
DC struggled all year to put asses in the seats. Even with all the marketing The Rock did for Black Adam, it tanked.
And if you want, my fault, but if you want to say like, fuck all that, he's not good. I don't even like this Flash.
No, I've never liked Ezra as the Flash either. Never liked his version of the Flash either. But this is what the direct had to say, and I do want to touch on something that let me read this first. This is the quote that everybody is going on as for what is going on with Miller and the rumor, I guess you could call it for now, them returning. It says, as for what else Gunn and Safran have planned for DC's future, sources describe it as broad but not a blanket reset. At this point, nothing is ruled out, given that Miller has stayed out of trouble since the beginning. Bro, given that they've stayed out of trouble, So that's it. That's just because
All you
they've
gotta
been
do.
good. They've had good behavior.
And for how long?
Right. Like
A couple of months. I've been good 20 years if you ask me, and I ain't got shit for it.
That's a weird statement. Since beginning mental health treatment in the summer, some executives to continuing with the actor as the world-saving speedster after the Flash bows on June 16th. Aquaman, Shazam, Blue Beetle, and Gunn's Peacemaker series for HBO Max all could have a place at the table. Gunn and Safran, who were recommended by DeLuca, have the full backing of the WBD top ranks. So that's what that's where it's coming from, that Miller may be returning. And then this is what the Direct had to say. They said Ezra Miller's future in the DCU as the Flash got an unexpected update. Last year, Ezra Miller became one of the most problematic active actors in the film industry. The star of the Flash and the Fantastic Beast franchise was arrested multiple times while in Hawaii. Additionally, he was accused of verbally assaulting locals, throwing aggressive tantrums, grooming young individuals, leading a cult, and more. Oof. Gosh, and that's... Anyway, last summer, Deadline reported that no matter what ended up happening, by the time Miller's DCU project debuted in 2023, Warner Brothers was officially done with the actor. However, a new report indicates that executives are now feeling a little different about the situation. A new report from Variety claims that some executives at Warner Brothers are open to continuing with Ezra Miller as the Flash after their solo movie later this year, and into James Gunn and Peter Safran's new DCU. The key reason for this is the actor has so far stayed out of trouble since beginning mental health treatment last summer. So, I'll tell you, like I said, if they bring Miller back, if that is true, and he is really coming back, and I'm inclined to low-key believe it is, just because of the relationship he has with Gunn.
Grand Regent said Ezra might have some non-Tim Warner Brothers executives.
I'm not sure. So yeah,
they can't. If they do, I'll tell you what. I wasn't pissed. I was pissed about Henry. I was pissed. You know that. I was pissed. But I wasn't like #fire James Gunn pissed.
Yeah, no.
I was.
You're
damn.
starting over.
Yeah, I was like, you're starting over. Okay, we still get to see Superman. I'm fine. But keep Miller, and I'm on that Henry Cavill piss train. Nah, I'm still not like #fire James. Maybe I am.
I don't know.
Maybe I am.
I don't understand if he stays.
If he stays, I might have to.
I truly don't.
I might have to
Especially
join
after what happened. If this next movie, if we get Flashpoint and everything, I mean, it's so fucking easy to bring someone else in. I don't get it. I'll truly have to stick to the point of DC and Warner Brothers do not make good business decisions. It doesn't matter at who's the helm in it or whatever. It's just simply not a good business, because it's not a good business decision.
Right.
At the end of the day, that's simply all it is.
I agree. But as always, question is for you guys listening down below in the comments what you guys are thinking about the things going on with Ezra Miller, and if it is true that they will be returning as the Flash, as Barry Allen, and continuing on in James Gunn's new DC reboot. Are you supporting that? Or are you joining #fire James Gunn at that point? Or are you still like, nope, I mean, are you in agreement with the article or with Warner Brothers and DC when they make the claim that because they have stayed out of trouble since the summer, what was that, 3 months ago? So they've been out of trouble for 3 months, 4 months maybe, that they are open to continuing on with them in the future of the DCU.
Summer, like what was the last month on our list? October.
Oh, you're right.
November,
October 17th.
December.
Well, that's when he pleaded not guilty to the charges in Vermont. But yeah, let us know about
what you guys are thinking. What is the comment saying?
There's a couple good. Grand Regent said, "Crazy thing is, y'all, I think the public will forgive him if the movie is good. Watch and see." And the crazy thing is, I think the public will forgive him if they come out with a good enough sob story of mental health and how they were sick and everything like that. Because I mean, not to just say, I don't want to downplay their mental health and everything like that. Because I mean, at the end of the day, that is the main issue. That's why they're in this predicament, I believe. I mean, they may have made some bad decisions at the end of the day, just violently wise or assault wise, throwing stuff, putting your hands on people in the bars and everything like that. But at the end of the day, I think at the root of every argument is mental health and stuff like that. But I mean, if his agents, Warner Brothers, if they give the public perception a good enough story about mental health and they've changed and stuff like that, then the society we live in, they're gonna forgive him. And I hate to say it, they're white.
Oh, you
they're
beat
gonna
me
get
to
forgiven.
It. I was gonna say, because if it's white, it's right. So
we had Will Smith apologize like four months
times,
later,
and then unprompted apologies
and
too.
people still debating if they want to forgive him.
The motherfucker did a Q&A apology.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking. Like 4 months later,
Like, that's
dropping
wild.
a whole video and people still debating.
Yeah, that's wild. So I believe you. I believe it.
DJF and I said, get a new actor to play the Flash and make Ezra play Reverse Flash. Got a bunch of comments on who they want to see. Ross Dogg's Broken Spirit said, get the kid from Smallville back to play Flash. Kenny Pierce said, I always thought Ezra was just a stand-in for the true Flash. Already read that one. Gray said, has TJ Holmes went back to his job yet?
Sorry, I'm trying to find something, but I'm listening.
Yeah, they keep refreshing. Syrup Sailor said, Miller is not returning as Flash. He's a huge liability. They're just trying to protect the huge investment that is the Flash movie.
Maybe so.
D. Steezel said, DC's animated stuff coming to Amazon Prime is a good move. Not everyone wants an HBO Max subscription. No, I can agree with that. But the thing is, I just... Like we've talked about with Spider-Man being on, like, Stars and stuff like that.
Right.
It just sucks that, like, some of the animated stuff will be on Amazon and then the other DC shit will be on HBO. Like, I'd rather it all be under one hub and not have to go back and forth.
Right.
Xavier Phoenix said Ezra knows where the bodies are buried or something. He's got to know something.
I don't. Like I said, he's got the relationship he has with Gunn.
Yeah, Gunn getting that position ain't make this any less believable or anything.
Right.
SP Flash said Will Smith got made fun of by his own wife on social media.
And I did see when he put that in the chat. I'm so glad you read it because I forgot because I was going to address it. Will Smith was the butt of everyone's jokes. Everyone's jokes. Regardless if it came from his wife or things like that. But here's the thing, too. They have such a weird relationship. If you watch Red Table Toxic Talk, I don't know who does. But they have such a weird relationship, and this is not new. Like the Red Table Toxic Talk shit, that it just intensified and magnified the weirdness. But we've known about the weirdness for forever. They've always been a weird thing. But I will say this, other than the things that she's put out there, what goes on, I said this when it happened, what goes on in the Smith household, I think that's the problem with society sometimes. We get so caught up with an actor or an actress posting on Twitter or posting on Instagram, and we follow their every move, that we begin to get desensitized and think that we actually know these people. You don't know them. We don't know what goes on in the Smith household. We don't know what conversations Will and Jada have had. We don't know what prompted her to post the things that she's posted. But what we do know is that this man's mental health, with the things that he's already said about his mother, and then the things that he had to be the butt of everyone's jokes online, think about what that would do to you. Think about what that would do to you mentally. So, I mean, yeah, she did post things, but at the end of the day, we don't know what goes on in the Smith household.
Raymond said that the way they talk about Will, they act like he's on the same level as a Bill Cosby or a R. Kelly. People canceled Will because he slapped their tap dancer, their step and fetch. And that's one thing I was saying. I was like, Because people were saying he went up there and slapped another black person. I'm like, man, Chris Rock, that nigga not black, bro.
But what does that mean? He went up there and slapped another black
And
person.
people, you know how white people love to. It's always black people going up, black people this, black people. Just anytime they see two niggas acting out, they love to put it on a pedestal. Official Liam G said, I don't know. I definitely think Ezra is out no matter what. I just don't see them doing this with the PR nightmare it would be.
It would be a PR nightmare because the trades do know about it. I was about to say would it be because of the normal, but no, the trades know about it. So it would be a PR nightmare. But then would it be? Because, bro, again, it's just the connection, the comparison of Will and him. Look at how we just said it. Will had to do a Q&A apology. On a live stream, people were sending in type of questions, or maybe it wasn't a live stream, I don't know. But they had a question. If you watch the video, you can look it up. The video's on YouTube. At the bottom of the screen, a question pops up, literally with a Q next to it, indicating it's a question. And then he answered the question. He did that for, I think, like 20 minutes in that video. Why was that necessary? Why was that necessary for him to have to do that? So, I mean, when I say that, I'm comparing that because it's like, then you look at everything Miller has done since 2011 till October of 2022. And it still wasn't as magnified as Will slapping.
One Oscar moment.
Like, so I don't know if it'd be a PR nightmare. Definitely the trades would cover it, but
yeah,
I don't know. If the trades covered it, this is how I could see it going. They would definitely list the things that Miller has done, like I just did. But then in that article, it would get turned to where it's like, but since that, Miller has done X, Y, and Z, has been in recovery, has done this, and has blossomed into this new whatever to continue on their great career. That's what it would be. Right. And let's not sit and pretend that it wouldn't be something like that.
They'd bring up how he wasn't charged in court for any of his crimes.
Right.
Nothing like that. He wasn't prosecuted.
Right.
D. Steezel said, regardless of James' position, Warner Brothers still has final say. If they say we want Ezra, he's got to keep him. And then he said, facts, James should stay off social media. Period.
Ashra tagged us and said, thanks for letting me know the Bad Batch is back. It's weekly episodes.
Yes, it is weekly episodes every Wednesday. Every Wednesday at, well, I don't know what time it drops wherever you are located, but it normally drops midnight.
Midnight.
I think that's the norm now. It used to be like 2 a.m., but it's midnight, I think, is the norm now. So
midnight is when they drop every Wednesday, and it's 16 episodes. So we have 14 left.
Were there any of the newer ones you were going to read? I'm still scrolled up.
Hungry Almighty said they are trying to put it under the rug and hope nobody notices since he's not a well-known star and most people aren't in the know like us.
See, and I've said that too. We've talked about that. We've said so many times that, normal fans are not in the spaces we're in. Some people never probably even don't know who he is outside of Perks of Being a Wallflower or the Fantastic Beast franchise. Or, of course people know him as the Flash and things like that, but they don't know what he's doing
off camera like that. So I mean, that's also a factor. We've said that one too, yeah. Gray said, Ezra being a real life supervillain out here, WB, not that's what commitment looks. Oh no, he said now that's what commitment looks like. Let's build around them. Yeah.
He is a real life supervillain. I mean, he terrorized an entire state for months.
Any nigga you see call himself the Messiah, bro.
Yeah.
Don't hang out with them, bro. Do not hang out with that nigga.
Yeah. Syrup Sailor said, no way people think investors will fund any future movie starring Miller without first being proven innocent and him proving his mental health is in order. I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
But it's still the simple fact that
you're restarting. And
that you're letting it. I mean, you forgive him, of course. Like, cause there's that, because you can forgive him. I'd say that you can forgive him, because the thing with look at Chris. Look at Chris Brown.
I can forgive him. I don't know Ezra Miller. Now,
I don't know him.
The
Right.
lady he threw the chair at, maybe
she doesn't forgive him. Maybe she doesn't
Who's
forgive
to
him.
say? I'm not God. Like, that's not my call. But like, two things I can say is that the flash Ezra Miller has put on screen has not been good, and secondly, you're simply restarting. Like, it's just the perfect opportunity to throw someone else in there, get a whole new vibe. You're not going to get any you might get controversy on the recast, but you're not going to get controversy on why is he staying for the whole 8 to 10 year slate or whatever slated it is. You have so many perfect reasons to get rid of him. You do it.
Yeah. C. Jeezy said, "Will Gunn bring back Will Smith for Deadshot?" I don't know.
I want to say no.
I would say if so, it's Crisis.
Yeah.
It would be Crisis. That's
Smith's
it.
Gonna be acting in 10 years.
How old is Will?
How old is Will? Someone in the chat probably know before I get it typed up.
I need an Alexa in here, because you know how many questions we have.
Yeah.
We need an Alexa.
That's a future.
Someone
thing.
beat me to it.
Oh, Gray did. Gray said 54.
So it'll be 64. I don't know. I mean, do you want to see it? I mean, he can wear his.
It's not even going to be him though, moving around like that.
Yeah.
We just get some dialogue, and I mean, I'd say no, probably not.
Probably not.
I
Probably
truthfully
not.
don't even think that promise he made to The Rock is going to hold weight.
What promise did he make to The Rock?
If the crisis, he may be back as Black.
James Gunn's promise to him. Yeah.
Cleve said that he did hear Will was coming back, though. I haven't heard anything on that. I mean, I wouldn't mind it. I just don't know how soon they're trying to get Deadshot into the movies or anything like that.
I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with DC. We won't know until January. We won't know, it is January. We won't know until later on in January, later on this month, when they put out whatever it is they're going to be doing. So I'm not sure. I don't know. I mean, that's not going to tell us if Deadshot's in anything, but I don't know. Let me see. Grand Region Thrax said, "That's crazy that we knew about the weird stuff way before the talk show." Yeah. D Sizzle said the video game videos of Will slapping Chris is hilarious, though I haven't seen them. Let me see, make sure I'm not missing. Syrup Sailor said Miller is not returning as. Oh, you read that one. I think you got some of those up there.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Did he? Gray said Kyrie Irving got a shoe deal again? Did he?
I don't know. I did just check my phone and see we fucking lost. So win streak snap. I don't know. I gotta check on that here in a minute though. I wanted to. Gray said that was just two men having a grown folks conversation that played out in front of billions. Talk about Will and Chris. Yeah, no, that's exactly what it was. Just a little heated argument.
Raymond said Will Smith has given multiple apologies and he's still canceled in the eyes of certain parts of America in the industry. Yeah. Rostock said we've all seen Red. Will had one of those moments. Yeah. I mean, that's it, bro. I've given the example. My example. If you talk about one of my family members, what do you want after that? Like,
that's what I'd be like. After niggas get mad at me for making like a decision in the heat, I'm like, what was you expecting? Or like, why you shouldn't have said that? Like, what the fuck was you expecting me to say or some shit?
Like, I mean, he was saying shit about it. I mean, granted, it's hard. It's a thin line. It's a thin line because he's a comedian. You know, they say shit at the Oscars as host, being comedians and things like that. But when you're saying things, as I've said, her dealing with alopecia and things like that. You're saying things like that on national television about this man's wife. What did you expect?
I'm telling
Because-
you, bro, Chris Rock not black.
when Will said keep my, it was the second. No. It was the fucking mouth when I knew it was serious. Because when he was like, keep my wife's name, I was thinking to myself, why is Will yelling?
No.
But then when he said, out your fucking, I said, oh.
No, whenever,
He's serious.
Whenever I heard him say, when he said that shit, then they flashed it to Chris Rock, and he was just looking at him, and then I see Will get up, I was like, oh, this nigga not joking. As soon as I seen him stand up, I was just like, yeah, this shit is raps. That shit. And I thought it was gonna be worse, cause personally, he could have punched him. He really could have, and that might have been
That's what they make
worse.
it seem like.
That's
like
what I'm saying though. Like, I don't even think it was really that bad. Like, I said
it wasn't that bad. You said it wasn't
we
that
all
bad.
like we all literally said like, but you know, I hate to bring race into it, but like white people call that violence though. Like, if I were to slap you and a white person recorded that, like, they would call that violence. Like, and not just... Like, that's not violence to me. Violence is like, why the fuck are you beating his ass like that? Like, that's violence to me, but... I don't know, to each his own. I said it wasn't that bad, and niggas made him apologize for 4 months. I still think Will's suffering now. I don't see him getting anything like he was before it happened and everything. Like, he had just won a fucking Oscar. And so it kind of sucks that that's kind of the only reason people are talking about him now or anything, remembering him and stuff like that. Kyrie does have a new shoe deal, black owned too. Connoisseurs triple salute. Yeah, I heard he was gonna go with a black owned business. I heard he was looking at Puma and New Balance because they were the big brands offering him. But I heard he was looking at a black owned business as well. But I can't find anything of him going with it. So if you can try and link that to me or some shit.
Cardboardology, appreciate you being here. We'll move to the...
Yeah, go ahead.
To the next topic. Next topic here, quick one. Just Jeremy Renner. Just a quick update here on Jeremy Renner. As everybody knows, on the New Year's Day, we had heard about the accident that he had been in and involved in with the snowplow. We had, it was very vague things that we had heard at the very beginning. The thing that stood out the most was that he was in critical condition, and that was concerning, obviously. And then more details came out about the accident, that he was helping a stranded pedestrian that was stuck in the snow with his snowplow. Obviously there is the question of how did he end up in front of the snowplow for it to run him over. But he has since posted a picture on Twitter, and it was a exhale sigh of relief moment when he shared that, because I was thinking, because there were so many posts coming out of like, he's in critical condition, he's about to, we don't know, blah blah blah. We heard it was just his leg, but then we had heard he had to have 2 major surgeries on his chest, leg.
Did you see the picture he posted? He had
he's got
black eyes, scars on his face and shit.
Yeah, the picture that he posted on Twitter and things like that. But it was like I said, it was a sigh of relief, and the reason it was such a sigh of relief to see him post this was because in this 4 little days that we've been in 2023, it has, from DeMar to Ken Block to Fred White, who is the drummer for Earth, Wind and Fire. Then you've got Gangsta Boo going on. Then you've got personal things going on at home with Daniel, and I mean, that one's wild, because I don't want to make it seem like I know Daniel, but I don't know Daniel, and I know Daniel through basketball.
I mean, but you heard Evan was in that too, though, right?
Oh, I didn't know Evan was there.
Got shot. Yeah, he got hit. I don't know what's wrong, but
Where?
He
was
a bystander. I don't know where he's at. I don't know where
I'll have to message Evan. I did not know that.
There's shit going on here and stuff to start the year. That's just I did not know that. I haven't able to get a hold of him. So yeah, he was they're bystanders in that and everything crazy. So there's people we know starting the year off bad and everything. Because when I didn't know about anything till you posted that picture, and I looked at the full report and everything because someone had posted something, but I never found out.
I'm sorry. Give me Evan's one of my boys.
Yeah, we had some shit go down on New Year's. People we know. But while he's doing that and everything, what I think happened with the Jeremy Renner shit and everything is because we heard he's pulling a pedestrian's car and everything, helping them out the snow and everything. And so I truthfully think he gets to the car in the snow plow. He gets out to see what the car's condition and everything is. And I think when he gets out of the snow plow, I think they just kept slipping down and everything, and I think it rolled him over. I mean, you think of how thick snow is like that. You're not just walking and stuff. You're high stepping and your boots get stuck and stuff like that. So you're walking through snow and stuff. And so I think just like they said, the machines are supposed to have emergency stuff for stuff like that. But I mean, so we'll definitely see what happened with stuff like that. But I mean, to hear that he is even alive, I mean, from what I looked up, they sent pictures in the Discord of how big those snow plows are, and I've looked pictures up and stuff, and I obviously know how they move. It's just crazy to see something like that happen on just such a random occasion too. It just, you really never know. That's like, it really ties me back to you really never know.
Yeah, no. Yeah, like I said, the first 4 days of this month have been a lot. So to see Jeremy post this picture, it was a sigh of relief, because we don't want to lose anyone, you know. And like I said, I don't know what New Year's looks like everywhere everybody else is, but, you know, to have this kind of, you know, all these tragic things happening, and then you have stuff like we said close to home happening. This was good to see, but I'm glad he's going to take him some time, obviously, to recuperate and heal. But I'm so glad that he is okay. And he did say, you know, thank you all for your kind words. I'm too messed up now to type, but I send love to you all. So and then today there was a plethora of Marvel stars and other actors and actresses that were sending love to Jeremy Renner and things like that. So yeah, we are definitely glad that he's okay and doing better and things like that. So. Like I said, the recovery is going to be some time, but he did have the 2 major surgeries, and yeah. So that's just a small little update, and those are things that some of you might have already known, but those are just the small little updates that he is okay. He's gonna be in recovery, but Jeremy's still with us, so that is something to obviously be positive about. So we'll move quick to the next one, and the next topic is going to be what is going on with Secret Wars, and this is our last topic here. Well, actually, I'm sorry. Comments on Jeremy and everything, or some things we missed. Because I saw Cleves also asked, do you think Jaden Smith can play Miles? I've said this many times. Whoever plays Miles, because I've seen people saying Caleb McLaughlin. Miles has to be. He's got to be He's got to be mixed. He's got to be Hispanic and black. And I think, and not only that, because you have to. He speaks Spanish just as well as he speaks English. So you don't want to have somebody like I don't know what Jaden Smith said. He might have Rosetta Stone. I don't know what languages Jaden Smith knows. So he might know Spanish, but
Hell no.
From karate
no other fucking languages.
But he's still not mixed. he's still not mixed. So I mean, and then that might be me nitpicking. But we're always talking about comic accuracy and source material, and I think, especially when it comes to both of our cultures, when it comes to us being the minorities here. Yeah, we want to see both represented on screen well. That's just an opinion, I think, though. Let's see.
Trying to see.
We saw that one. Nico Bean, appreciate you being here. He said, what's up? Comic Chameleon said, you got to read Moon Knight number 18, It of the Change, Vampire Killer. I have to check it out. I don't have a P.O. box, but Corey is going to be setting our P.O. box up. Corey does all that. She's good at that. Like, she handles all of that all of the behind the scenes stuff when it comes to like the shipping stuff out and
Corey, if you watching, shout out.
Yeah, shout out Corey because fucking with me, y'all would never get your gifts. You would never get your giveaways, and it's not because I don't want to send them. It's just because I'm constantly moving. So I would never get to it. Let's see.
Kenny Pierce said, "Do we know any young black/Puerto Rican actors?"
I don't think so.
I don't know of any.
I don't think so. Not that I feel like I don't know.
Raymond and Gray are talking about the kid from Blackish.
I know him too. I saw, I think I put them up as examples in the video that we did about
They
that.
said he's mixed.
Who?
The kid from Blackish said he's black and Hispanic. I haven't seen Blackish.
Is it the one I think it is?
Raymond, do you know his name or anything?
Oh, him, Miles Brown. Miles Brown. Is he?
Oh, if we're talking about Miles, I just didn't know Miles Brown. See, I don't watch Blackish.
Now, see, he would work. Miles would work. His name's already Miles.
Renzi Philippe.
Miles would work. Yeah.
I know who Miles Brown is just from he does his interviews and shit. Super cool dude.
Yeah, he could work. He could work as he's Hispanic and black.
Nico Bean said, "All you gotta do is get the guy who played Miles in the freaking PlayStation game. It's not that hard." Y'all thinking too damn hard.
Yeah, is he Hispanic though?
How old is he?
And that's the thing though. For me, if you're gonna do Miles, and from my understanding, and we're about to get to some of that shit. From my understanding, he's not coming in live action. So what we're talking about right now, from the rumor, it doesn't matter. But, yeah. So, if he does come in live action, it needs to be represented the same way, bro. Like, whoever it is needs to be Afro, or what is it?
Afro Latino.
Yeah, Afro Latino, or however they say it. Needs to be that.
I thought that's what it was.
Needs to be mixed for sure. Not just straight black. His mother's Hispanic and he speaks Spanish. His father's black. Like, it needs to translate on screen. What else is there?
Cornelius said Miles is African American and Puerto Rican. Just go scout New York for that specific. It's not hard to find. We want the actor though. Not some New York nigga stepping in Tim's. Nico Bean said he is and he's my age. Nico, I don't know how old you are, buddy. Cleve said, "Damn, for real, no live action Miles SMH. Since Notes Chalo, we need him."
Let's get to that. Let's get to what's going on there. What's going on with Marvel's. And what have I said about Marvel's Secret Wars from the beginning? What have I been saying? I'm what?
Which part? It's got to be 2-3 movies. It's gonna be disappointing, or it's gonna be.
I'm worried.
Not what it is. It's.
Yeah, all that.
I was gonna say more. Am I missing something?
No, all of that.
I'm trying to think of one I might have missed. I'm interested to see though, because I've been seeing a lot of shit coming out with this and everything, and just with the way everything's progressing and stuff, I mean, things aren't looking good in my personal opinion.
Yeah, no.
It sounds like they're banking on a lot of old faces to save the day, like Spider-Man did in the third movie.
Yeah. So this is what's kind of going on here with Secret Wars. Now, we've talked about Secret Wars at length before. We've had several, I think we have videos up talking about Secret Wars. We know that Michael Waldron is going to be writing Secret Wars. We know that they have adapted Jim Shooter's and Jonathan Hickman's Secret Wars. Both comics will be adapted into this, but when I say adapted, I mean loosely adapted. Don't expect to see Black Swan. Don't expect to see any like the Illuminati, the Cabal.
You know what I'm expecting? Like a Civil War,
That's what you can expect. And here's
like a good movie, but nothing close to what we should have got based off a comic title.
Yeah, it's not gonna be that. So here's what they've got going on with Secret Wars. And we've talked about the cameos and stuff too. We've talked about names like Hugh Jackman, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Wesley Snipes' Blade, Ben Affleck's Daredevil, Nicolas Cage's Ghost Rider, all those names, even the Fantastic Four, the OG Fantastic Four. We've talked about all of these names. Well, let me make this to where y'all can see this. On Sunday, one of the credible insiders and scoopers out there that does things like with My Time to Shine Hello. My Time to Shine Hello, I think, has even retweeted a couple of their tweets and things like that, is The Watcher. And The Watcher put out, let me get to that tweet here really quickly. Bear with me one moment. Let me get to it. One moment. The Watcher had these things to say. I like too much stuff.
Let's get a poll. Let's see. Will
Come on, thing. Where's all those tweets at? Have I liked that much stuff since then? Damn.
Question mark. Let's see what you guys think.
All right, this is what The Watcher had to say. So The Watcher had this to say, and this was tweeted out on January 1st. The Watcher put out, incursions are going to look absolutely terrifying in live action. One of this year's movies grinds to a halt when one starts.
So we know that it's going to be in the Marvels. The Marvels is because that's from the plot leak, and
we might get to the plot. The plot leak's long. We might not. We might have to say that for another day. The plot leak is long. It's the whole fucking movie. Yep. And it is from the same plot leak that has come from Multiverse of Madness, the same plot leak that came for Wakanda Forever and No Way Home and Thor: Love and Thunder and the rest of them. So it's coming from the same Marvel subreddit. The mods over there, they put out these things, and sometimes they're hit, sometimes they're missed, but more times they're hit than miss. So you can expect that Marvel's one is accurate. And the same thing that the Watcher is saying there, that the incursions, because at this time he was not referring, I don't think that they knew that it was going to be the Marvels. Maybe they didn't share that information. Actually, they did. He went on to say, spoilers, the incursion is indeed happening during the Marvels. They are able to delay it, but it will result in the Marvels being split up. And the questions I'm having about that is I'm wondering, because we know it's not Earth. So why are incursions happening right now? What is causing for incursions to happen? Because from my understanding, an incursion occurs when someone from another reality spends too much time in a different reality. That's why Reed had told Strange, you are the most dangerous.
Well, Clea told Strange he caused.
Yeah, you caused an incursion. So.
But does? Nah, I'm not even gonna. I'll wait. I don't. Do you think something's gonna happen here? And because when does the Marvels film?
They're done.
Right?
They've already had test screenings. That's why the plot leak is out.
Do you think they're basing that or do you think they're going to be basing that incursion off something we've already seen, or something that's to come in the next year before the Marvels releases? Or do you think it'll be something that happens in that movie?
It could be something that leads up to it, that, something we see before the film that leads up to it. It could be something that happens within the film. From my understanding, like I said, the plot leak's long. I only read the first paragraph because it's long. From my understanding, though, I think it's something that happens within the film that causes the incursion and splits the Marvels up. From things I've heard, I'm gonna get to the plot leak. I don't know if we'll read it today, but I don't want to alarm anyone, Monica fans. But it is what we've been suspecting. We might not like what is done with Monica in the Marvels, but it goes on to say. Let me see. What else the Watcher said? Let me see. Okay. Yeah, so that the Watcher also said that, but this is coming from Ember, because this is coming from another scooper out there named Ember, because we're not entirely sure how the incursions are going to be, what's going to happen, how they're going to be happening and things like that. But then Ember goes on to say this is all for Secret Wars stuff. Eric Banon's Hulk will not return. So Eric Banon's Hulk is obviously the Hulk from 2008. So he will not be returning. And I would say that's, not really surprising. And I understand people are saying, oh, it's the multiverse. We expected him to. But he is supposed to be the current Hulk, right? Yeah. The one that we have currently. So that's why, that doesn't
Mark
really bother
Ruffalo.
me. Yeah, it's Mark Ruffalo.
That Hulk we saw in before the MCU was the same Hulk,
right?
That they've took and dumbed down,
right? But then Ember goes on to say, Foxverse Magneto is coming. Now we all know that the Foxverse X-Men are going to be a part of Phase 5, everything leading up to Secret Wars and some things that we've recently heard, even possibly after. So, but this is not Sir Ian McKellen, is what we've heard too. Who did I hear that from? Was that also from Ember? I can't remember who said, but we also heard that it's not that Sir Ian McKellen and that was from Film Odyssey. We heard that Sir Ian McKellen and Scarlett Johansson do not want to return. I don't know. They don't want to return though for Secret Wars, and fine, I guess, because Michael Fassbender's Magneto, I'm fine with having him in there anyway. If you remember, Michael Fassbender's Magneto was already supposed to be in the MCU because he was supposed to show up in Multiverse of Madness, and when they were going to perform the lobotomy on Wanda, they were going to get his permission as her father to do so. So we know that Fassbender is already rumored to be there anyway, and we also got the stuff. Michael Waldron said a lot of shit after Multiverse of Madness that was supposed to be. He talked about Boulder and we recently saw the concept art for that dude from 007. Why am I blanking on names? Was supposed to be portraying him, and we saw that what Wanda did to him, stabbed him with his own sword and things like that. So so we saw all of that. But she also tweeted this, and this is where the Miles stuff comes in. Sony still has to sign off, but it's considering the fact that multiple Spider-Men are in the film. I believe they will be. But she also said 3 live-action Spider-Man, no animated Spider-Man. So that's meaning that the 3 live-action Spider-Man, we can automatically assume that's Andrew, Tobey, and Tom, because we don't have that's the only live-action Spider-Man. No animated Spider-Man. By her saying no animated Spider-Man, by her saying no animated Spider-Man, that's her basically saying no Miles Morales.
4 Spider-Man.
So we will not have Miles. It's seeming like we will not have Miles in live action. It's also seeming like they're gonna not be. Obviously, if we're not having Miles, that leads to we're not gonna have the traditional Secret Wars storyline, and that was one of the things that made Secret Wars, well, at least for Hickman's. It was that it involved other comics outside of Hickman's and brought it into Secret Wars, and that's what made Hickman's Secret Wars so amazing. Now, I like shooters. I like the original Secret Wars. The original Secret Wars is good too, and the original Secret Wars, this is where this plays in. Let me make sure I'm saying all this correct, because it is a lot, because I do have the show notes here. It's a lot. So yeah, we've got that, people assuming that and things like that. But here's the things we do know. Some of the other things we do know. We do know that Andrew Garfield was already confirmed to be coming in Secret Wars. So we know that. Here's the thing, though. I don't know if I want to say that yet. I don't want to say that yet. Andrew Garfield is coming in Secret Wars. Tobey Maguire was going to be coming in Kang Dynasty. And Tom is going to be in Kang Dynasty as well. So we know that both those Spider-Men are going to be in Kang Dynasty. Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man is going to be in Secret Wars. But one of the other things too I thought too was, which if you've been here from forever, you know that I've always had my theory for what they're doing. Obviously that's not happening. That theory is not, but it made logical sense to me to tie in for Sony. It made logical sense. If I'm Sony, I'm going to tie in what you're doing with my universe, so that way we can have Miles
both,
live action.
That
Yeah,
and both make more money.
We both make more money. We know Spider-Man pops.
If you tell if people get the rumor that this animated Miles is going to be the one that
that's in
see
Secret Wars
in the MCU and everything, I mean, not to say you can make it much bigger because the first Into the Spider-Verse was already fucking crazy, profit, budget, and all that. So I mean, not to say they'd make any more money than they did the first time, but I mean, if they wanted to explore more ways to go up, then I mean, yeah, like you said, it makes perfect sense because all MCU fans would, this is the Miles we're gonna see in the MCU. Okay, it makes so much more sense to stay updated with him and everything. And then it's just the MCU. They're staying on good relationship. My fault. They're staying on good relationship with Sony and everything. Like, they get to use Tom and they get to use Miles now. It's just like so many benefits would come from that and everything. But I mean, I personally, I just can't help but wonder what they're gonna do if they're gonna do Miles in live action or anything, and how
if they do, it'll be Sony.
I was gonna say that's what I was gonna say.
It'll be for Sony
how the
Spider-Man.
MCU would even be able to access that because it doesn't seem like
The MCU
Sony's
won't.
willing to.
Because I've heard somewhere, I don't remember where, because it wasn't, when I heard it, it wasn't from a credible scooper, so take it with a grain of salt or no salt. That Miles was supposed to be in Spider-Man 4, but that doesn't track with some of the things that we've heard for Spider-Man 4. You know, it doesn't, because we've heard that the symbiote storyline was going to start taking place in Spider-Man 5. That they're going to lay the groundwork for it in Spider-Man 4, but Spider-Man 4 was going to be a street-level Spider-Man deal with Mayor Kingpin from the events from Daredevil bleeding into it. Yeah. So it's like, where does Miles fit in that? I mean,
and that's my thing. When Marvel, whenever they've mentioned Miles' name, whenever his uncle mentioned all that stuff and everything, did they ask Sony to do that, or did they just do that?
Oh, shit, they had to ask Sony.
So it's like, are they going to be able to? You think they're going to be able to do their own Miles? That's what I was going to ask. You think Sony can have theirs, and you think they'll be like, okay,
Sony's going to make them pay.
I mean, yeah, but
big time pay.
But they're gonna make big time money from that. It's just because, like we've been saying, even the comments, nobody. I mean, I can't put my finger on how you do Secret Wars without Miles and live action and everything, and I don't see the stories you introduce for him after Secret Wars and everything. I just think if you miss the time before Secret Wars to plug him into your stories and everything, then you're missing the timeline to plug him in. Like, sure, you can if you reboot, but we don't think they're rebooting after Secret Wars. They want to do everything with the Fox X-Men and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's just they're missing the opportunity to plug him in. And if they try to do it too late, they're going to end up with another character that we're saying the storyline, they messed it up, they fucked this up, the timing, this and that. So I just don't see if the problem is paying the money, then they do it. They have to do it.
Yeah. Then for keeping up with the Spider-Man stuff, which is another thing we've heard, is that Toby is not a cameo in King Dynasty. He's not a cameo in Secret Wars. He is a main character in both. And when I say main character, but use it kind of loosely, not like, he's the main focus like that, but he is one of the main characters, and not just him, but Robert Downey Jr., Hugh Jackman, and Andrew Garfield as well are main characters, a part of what is going to be going on. But she also said here that, to take it down to there, she said Nicolas Cage, Ghost Rider is coming, and these are things that we've talked about. So from my understanding, it's going to be Secret Wars is going to consist, and what we've kind of all alluded to from the beginning, Secret Wars is going to consist of the multiple superhero Marvel franchises, even outside of the MCU, being brought in for Secret War purposes, from other universes and things like that. So we know that we've talked about Nicolas Cage, we've talked about Wesley Snipes coming back as Blade, we've talked about, the Fantastic Four that are supposed to be in Daredevil 3. There's Ben Affleck's, we've talked about a lot of different people, but not just the heroes, the villains too. Because you can't do, if you know Secret Wars, if you've read Jim Shooter's, or you know anything about Hickman's, or just any version of Secret Wars, you cannot do that without the villains. The villains are tethered to that. Like that was the Beyonder's whole deal in Jim Shooter's Secret Wars, was he the Beyonder, and we're gonna get to that because that's a little weird. Like, because Kang being the Beyonder,
yeah.
Okay. Okay. The Beyonder's whole deal is, you know, he's like a child because of the way he was created. Like, he's like a child. So he is curious about a lot of things, and he was curious about good and evil. So he got all the heroes, he got all the villains, and he wanted to see which is better, good or evil. Fight. Basically, there it is. That's basically your story. That's basically what's going on in shooters. So you have to have of course, you have the villains in Hickman. So you have to have the villains a part of all of this that's going on, and with Robert Downey Jr. coming back, I'm sorry, Robert Downey Jr. is our main character as well. Robert Downey Jr., Hugh Jackman, Andrew, Toby, and did I miss someone? No, that's it. They're all going to be playing main characters, and I believe, because if they're making the Beyond, and let's get on that real quick. If they're making Kang the Beyonder, and this is coming from My Time to Shine Hello. My Time to Shine Hello tweeted out that Kang is going to be the Beyonder, and Jonathan Majors is going to be playing the Beyonder. But if that's the point, bro, the Beyond, like, why? And I say why because why not just have Kang be Kang? Because is the Beyonder playing a villainous role here? Because if he's playing a villainous role here, you're going to need way more than Kang and those heroes that you have to take out the Beyonder. Like, it's like, and I hope, so it's not like going to be a twist where like the Beyonder's like the villain. I haven't heard anything like that. What I'm thinking is he's going to be playing a more heroic role, like, and he's going to be possibly coming in to certain different timelines outside of the MCU to recruit. Like, we might see a recreation of certain scenes from older movies where the Beyonder comes in and it's like, hey, we got the Battle of New York. Yeah. Exactly. We've got this going on. Blah blah blah. I need you to come with me, and then they pop up with them. I don't like it, but that's the only thing. That's where my mind is going with it right now. So I'm just trying to figure out where they go with Kang being the Beyonder. Why is Kang the Beyonder? And again, that is coming from My Time to Shine Hello on that one. But if Kang is the Beyonder, it makes... I've seen people saying this Tony's going to be... help me. Iron Man. Which Iron Man were we expecting in Multiverse of Madness?
Tom Cruise?
But...
838?
Superior Iron Man. Superior Iron Man was... is what people are saying that that RDJ is going to be portraying, and to me, I disagree. I don't think so. It's gonna be our Tony, because by that time, you have to think what was one of the big draws for No Way Home outside of it being Spider-Man. You had Andrew Garfield, you had Tobey Maguire, you had Willem Dafoe, you had Alfred Molina, you had Jamie. Well, you had those four. You had those four coming back and returning, mixed in with the MCU, and it was just crazy. It was the nostalgia feel. You take away the nostalgia feel of Tony coming back, RDJ coming back as Tony, if you make it a different Tony, because it's not, now it's like that nostalgia feel's not there. Like with Kang being the Beyonder, to be honest, hopefully they're sticking with source material shit here with him being the Beyonder. With Kang being the Beyonder, all Kang has to do, or the Beyonder has to do is, or Jonathan, is it Kang or John? I don't remember what she said. Jonathan Majors, I know, is portraying him. However, yes, Kang being the Beyonder, that's what she said. He could reach into any point in time and just put Tony there. So it's like, I think it's our Tony. I think it's 616 Tony. I don't think it's going to be anything other than that.
So are we expecting Chris Evans only back as Cap? Are we expecting him Fantastic Four and Hydra Cap?
Man, I don't even think Hydra Cap. And the reason I don't think Hydra Cap is because it becomes too convoluted for them to have to explain everything and for them to have to do it just becomes too much. So like, cuz it's already going to be a lot. It's already going to be a lot. And it's still seeming like it's one film. Like, it's just the events of Kang Dynasty. From what I'm understanding is the new Avengers are going to be what we see in Kang Dynasty. They're going to lose. And that's going to bleed over, just like Infinity War. That's going to bleed over into Secret Wars. And when that bleeds over, it's going to be the multiversal Avengers.
Yeah, like going and getting Avengers from different universes.
Yeah, going to
get guys from different timelines. Right. Right. That's what it's going to be.
The thing is, This is one of those movies that also, it's going to make a lot of its money off rewatch. How many times is it going to be rewatched, I think? Because, I mean, if a lot goes down, like we're saying, we're going to have to watch it more than once. I mean, I think, like, certain movies, like, like Infinity War, we were going to see more than once on the big screen simply because we know we're missing shit. Like, we know it's such a long movie with so much stuff happening. We know we're bound to miss something. Or it's like... Right. Even you go watch something, you go rewatch anything. It's like, oh, I didn't catch that the first time. So it's like, how many times are they banking on us to rewatch this in order to, it's like, they know they don't want to put too much in the movie to oversaturate it, but at the same time, they know this has to be one of their movies where it's like, okay, a lot's happening. We're going from space to Earth to a different universe to a different galaxy so I mean, it just depends on how they all balance it. And I mean, in my opinion, the most important thing is the lead up. How are you in the year right before it comes out? What is the tone of the movies are coming out with? What's the situation of the universes and everything? I mean, hopefully they do a good job leading up to it and everything. Because I mean, from what we're getting, I mean, a lot of comment. We had a poll and everything, and majority said that Secret Wars is going to be disappointing just compared to comics and everything. So
things are about to get really weird.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The thing is, I just don't see what their plan is. That's my thing. When we first started this topic, it seems like they're banking on old faces to kind of save the day on how they did in Spider-Man, like I said. But I mean, I just don't see what the initial plan is.
Yeah, and when I say things are going to get weird, I mean like we're entering a weird point even in Marvel Comics. Like it's like they're going to have to explain it. They're going to have to make it make sense. They're going to have to make the comic translate to the screen with how weird some of these things can get, with how some of these things can go. But the Watcher also tweeted that, obviously, like I said earlier, villains too. And what that also means is we possibly still could get the whole Doctor Doom thing. Maybe not Emperor God Doom. I'm not expecting it to be God Emperor Doom. But Doom will be there. And it will be the Doom from the original Fantastic Four films and the Doom from Michael B. Jordan's Fantastic Four film that he was a part of. Now, recently, and I want to make sure I'm reading this correctly, the actor that did play Dr. Doom and the Michael B. Jordan one said that definitely the placenta puff. I'd eat a whole is this French? Because when I was trying to read it the first time, it's croquet something of placenta puffs rather than be asked if I would go back and be terrible as Dr. Doom again. Hey, you were terrible as Dr. Doom. Would you go back and do it again? And no. But here's the difference. Now, and here's what I'm saying. Hear me out on this one, though. Is because I hate that film. I hate that film. But people, let's not sit here and pretend everybody loved Andrew Garfield in 2012 and 2014. I did. I always did. But people did not like those films. But when Andrew Garfield got in the MCU and Kevin Feige and crew got their hands on that whole thing, people came out the film saying he stole the show. He was the best Spider-Man. He was this, he was that, blah, 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 blah. Instantly, everybody became Andrew Garfield fans. Who's to say they can't do that same thing with that Doom? That same thing with him. Take that and convince him of that. Because obviously it sounds like he didn't want to fucking do it. But if they sit down and convince him of that and explain to him, this is what we've got planned. This is what we're going to do. It's not going to be that shit that you were doing in that film. And you take two Dooms and pin them up. Because it's going to be the villains trying to stop Kang too. Everyone's going to be trying to... So you take two Dooms and pin them up against with maybe their own secret thing going on that they're, the only time Doom ever helps if it's in benefit to Doom. And you got two Dooms. He's got to
have his own plot.
Yes. So they might try to have their own deal with those two Dooms to where, they have their own overall plan, but they're going to help take down Kang. They're not going to be our 616 or 99, whatever the fuck we are. They're not going to be our Doom, but we still could get Doctor Doom in Secret Wars, because that was a concern there at the beginning. I remember that people saying that. So that's what we could get. But basically what they're saying there, the last thing that they're saying there with the Watcher is just that expect it to be a plethora of heroes from different things outside of the MCU and a plethora of villains from things outside. And when I say villains, I mean you could pull Oscar Isaac's Apocalypse. You could pull Bullseye from Ben Affleck's Daredevil. You could pull... I mean, Green Goblin again. You pull Goblin again. I don't know if they pull maybe Alfred Molina too.
They pulled Dracula from Blade.
They could pull Dracula from Blade.
I mean, they could. There's other villains out there that they could pull from. I mean, they could even pull Phoenix, even though she wasn't technically evil. But they could pull Phoenix as well. Yeah, I mean, they have a list of, and we know Michael Fassbender's Magneto is going to be here. So I mean, there's a lot of different things that they could choose from. But those are some of the things going on that kind of tethered together from different scoopers for Secret Wars.
And Secret Wars is kind of sounding like it is. Like I said,
It's going to be the MCU's version of Secret Wars and what they're going to be doing with Secret Wars and things like that. So I'm still not here for Kang being the Beyonder. It's a little, I don't know how you do that.
Odd.
Yeah, it is odd. I don't know how you do that. It just if you were going to do that, why not make the Beyonder like a Mortis or something like that? I mean, make it tethered with Kang, because they have no connection.
So yeah, so that's what's going on there. Let us know down below what you guys are
Thinking about some of the things that are going on with Secret Wars, and again, take all of this, and I do mean, because the film doesn't come out till, it says 2026, likely 2027. Take all of this with a massive grain of salt. This is subject to change. If any of it is real, it's subject to change at any time. I'm sure they're going to keep reworking Secret Wars and reworking it and reworking it and reworking it, because this is the end all be all. This is Kevin Feige's got to bring this home, and I'm sure he wants to.
So let us know what you guys are thinking
About some of the things that are said there about Secret Wars. We'll touch these comments, and that will be that.
Cornelius said, Marvel Studios is so busy race swapping white characters black, but won't give us original characters, then push them to. Very odd strategy.
Right. Tis true.
Kenny said, Battleworld will be after Secret Wars. I think like Secret Wars ends with the beginning of Battleworld.
Yeah, we could see some type of formation of, and we've not heard anything about a Battle World.
Nope.
But if they do that, we could see some type of formation of that, maybe done at the end of King Dynasty or something. I don't know. Maybe.
Dougie Fresh said, they made Infinity War without Adam Warlock. I will not be shocked by any decisions they make when it comes to including or excluding characters.
Right. I'd agree.
CG said, Kevin Feige should hire Jed Whedon and Marissa Tantrin to help with Phase 5 and 6. Cornelius said, Blade better be in like every major project moving forward till Mashallah ages out, since we can't have our other heroes.
Yeah, and we're not even probably going to see Blade in anything. We're not going to be till his film, and that's what, Phase 6? Was that Phase 5? No, that was Phase 5. Was that not? I'm pretty sure that was Phase 5. Because the only things they showed for Phase 6 was Dynasty and Secret
It might
Wars.
be 5. I mean, we don't know anymore, though.
Oh, yeah, things did get pushed back.
We don't know anymore.
I'm pretty sure it is 5.
Yeah, it's Phase 5.
And then Cornelius also said, since the Beyonder is now Kang, I'm sure that's retconned.
Yeah, it's set to be released September 6, 2024. Yeah, that's what I said. With Kang being, it's weird. It's weird. I don't really know what to make of it. I'm trying to wrap my head around where they're going with that. I'm not sure.
Gray said, how's the Fantastic Four going to work with Chris Evans being both Human Torch and Cap?
Yeah, that was a question and even if they wanted to do Hydra Cap, I mean, that's something they just gotta exclude a couple or one.
Yeah, but there's also that rumor that the Fantastic, man, I don't know, because there's the rumor that the Fantastic Four die in Deadpool,
yeah.
That group dies, not our Fantastic Four, but Jessica Alba's group dies, Chris Evans' group. I'm not sure though, but because there's also the rumor that they are in Secret Wars, so I'm not sure.
CGZ said, Jonathan Majors being the Beyonder cuts costs.
And then Cornelius said they have more money than like all the studios right now. Cut the check.
Yeah, I'm saying cut the check for real though, because I'm thinking about this. You want this to be your bigger than Endgame.
Cornelius, he said Secret Wars is going to cost like $1 billion to make.
Yeah, it's gonna. And here's the thing too, like you got to think about back to Multiverse of Madness. You got to work around people's schedules. You got to do this. You got to do that because John Krasinski and Elizabeth Olsen both said they never met. For that scene, like she filmed that separately, he filmed that separately. They green screened all that shit in. Like they never once met. So it's like you're gonna have to get all these actors to come in, and who knows if they're even all gonna be able to be on set at the same time. I mean, we saw that everybody in Infinity War. At least from some of the behind the scenes stuff, they've all been on screen or they were all on set at the same time and things like that. But it's gonna cost a little over $1 billion.
Yeah,
it's gonna cost a lot.
And how much we talking both movies?
For Secret War, yeah, it's gonna cost a lot because the visual effects are gonna. Because you have to think this is gonna be the first Avengers film that we're gonna have since 2018, and that's not coming till 2025.
Yep.
We have not seen the Avengers since 2018. So, yeah, it's gonna be expensive.
D. Stiesel said, "Watch the Beyonders be a fake out like the Timekeepers in Loki."
Oh God, forgot about that.
D. Stiesel, he also said, "Captain, cut the check, America to the rescue." Kenny said, "I heard LL Cool J was coming back as his character in Deep Blue Sea and Secret Wars. It's gonna be insane."
The only time a brother survived in a thriller horror type movie like that was when LL Cool J survived in Deep Blue Sea. He is the only nigga that you can look at that has not died in a type of horror film movie like that.
That's fucking funny.
And then Cornelius said, "I heard John Campia is going to take the top off the Maybach in Secret Wars."
Who said that?
Cornelius.
Not off the Maybach.
Andre Ware said T'Challa needs to be there.
He won't be.
Gray said, "Kid and
I
play
want him
with
to be."
Kid and Play with Peter Quill is going to win Secret Wars with a dance off. Josiah also said they better bring my guy T'Challa back somehow.
Hey, I tell you what.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news.
If the Russos are indeed doing this, because I still hold out hope that they are, and I still believe they are.
I think they are too.
Then yes, they will bring T'Challa back. It'll be for the fleeting moment of the film, but they will bring T'Challa back. But if it's anyone other than the Russos, I don't think they bring T'Challa back. Yeah, I don't think they bring T'Challa back. But and this is a real question. I'm asking, and can you put this in a poll or ask? I don't know how you would word this, but I'm asking. Are you happy with T'Challa coming back in Secret Wars, and then at the end of Secret Wars he's gone again, and we're back with TJ? Like, I want to see him. Don't get me wrong. I would stand, leap, and jump to see him back on screen in Secret Wars. But in the back of my mind, I'm sitting in the audience knowing it's only for the duration of this film. And after this film is over, he's gone. We don't get to see him anymore. And now we're moving into BP3 in 2026 with Toussaint, with little T'Challa. And like nobody, like, I'm still not checking for that, bruh. I'm still not, because I can hear it now. Some people are saying, well, they could find a way because the incursion happened on that T'Challa's universe, that T'Challa state. Again, I don't I do dislike that, and I do dislike it because we don't. Why do we in the here we go. Why do we in the black community always have to compromise? Why do we have to make compromises? They didn't make compromises for Tony Stark. They didn't make compromises for Captain America. No compromises were made for Thor, but compromises are always made within the black community every single time with our shit. So no, I don't want a variant because that's a compromise. When you could just easily give us the T'Challa back that we have had since Civil War. Regardless, the same way that motherfuckers was having conversations talking about, oh, if Dave Bautista's not Drax and they bring in another Drax, you could just say, oh, you look different. That was a real conversation. Yep. That was a real conversation. where people were saying, oh, well, they could just bring him in, he just say he looks different. But when we say that with T'Challa, you're like, oh, that's so disrespectful.
You can make Drax look the same, too. Like, you literally find a buff, bald-headed nigga and put makeup on.
Right. Like so, no,
Drax.
I don't want to compromise for a variant. I don't want to compromise for a
majority
variant.
says T'Challa coming back only for a cameo in Secret Wars would not satisfy them.
Yeah, no. It's literally, like I said, it's just a cameo. And who wants to see that?
Literally 8% said yes. So it's like, and that's not to say like that's like a shit ton of people in here, like, you know, but it's still like, I don't want to see a variant, bruh. Like, I don't. We shouldn't have to.
Yeah,
we should not have to compromise for a variant. We just shouldn't have to. Like the Tony Stark they're getting in Secret Wars is, I don't care what people are saying. It's gonna be the Tony Stark that sacrificed himself. It's gonna be that Tony because it's got to have that nostalgic feel. It's got to have that grab. It's got to make people that have not been here since Endgame want to be here. And you don't do that with Superior Iron Man, who they don't fucking know. Because if you say, oh, Superior Iron Man's in Secret Wars, the average family, who?
Yeah.
Oh, this is a different Iron Man like that Ironheart. They're not gonna care. So, no compromises for me.
Cornelius said, heard Stan Lee's adult cartoon character stripper has a cameo too. Ant-Man said, I haven't read Secret Wars comics, but I understood that Miles played a prominent role in it. Marvel, you took T'Challa from us. Don't disrespect Miles.
Yeah, you know, Sony owning them.
I'm still at the top a little, but if you want to take the newer ones, I gotta go pick my dog up.
We've got.
I appreciate the 70. If you in here, like the video, like the stream, I'll be back tomorrow.
We've got Cleaves that said LL Cool J could have been Drax. Grand Region Drax said Scrolls, I guess. Let's see. We've got Cornelius that said, like, kill the whole MCU BP franchise with an incursion and start over. Gray said, Daniel Martin survived Scream 2. That's true. That's true. But that was because he cussed out Gail Weathers and dipped. TJF and I said, because the actors didn't fight to have him recasted. That's true. Justin said, MFs come back to life all the time in Marvel Comics. Just do it for the MCU. T'Challa is not that hard, Marvel. No, it's not. Raymond said, it'll satisfy these stale fans who are okay with no T'Challa being present in the universe. Shall I name names? Name them. Grand Region Drax said, my thing is with what... Sorry, let me fix that. Grand Region Drax said, my thing is with what they have done, how would you write in T'Challa now? Like, what would you do? I've told you guys what I would do.
What I would do is I would make him a Skrull. He would be what we saw, not make him a Skrull, but what we saw in that ridiculous film, the whole casket, the funeral that we all attended. I would make the body that was in that casket that we never saw a Skrull. That way you can usher in T'Challa and bring him back. We were right in the middle of Secret Invasion. We're about to step into Secret Invasion. They could easily do that. It could easily be done. We've got Granny United said, and not make it corny. Oh yeah, same thing there. Ghost Dog 8 said, honestly, I'd be okay with a toned down Secret Wars. I'm just tired of all the race swaps, gender swaps, and agenda pandering. I'm ready for a reboot, low key. I could agree. Honestly, I'd agree. Chill Spot said, I used to be okay with a T'Challa variant, but not now. I still struggle with accepting the Loki variant. He's cool, but I still want our Loki. Right? D Stizzle said, Jason Momoa originally was offered the Drax role. Later, it was given to Dave. I didn't know Jason Momoa was offered that one. Executive Judge said, at this point, my mom will be in Secret Wars. Raymond 2000 said, I'll say it, Marvel has an agenda against black men. I'll say it now, no T'Challa, no live action Miles. What else are they going to... Excuse me. Who else are they going to take out? Nick Fury. We got Nico Bean that said, when Indala is introduced in the MCU, T'Challa shall already be there in Wakanda waiting for him. Problem solved. Cleve 17. Oh, no, not read that one from you. Cornelius said, like, kill the whole MC. I read that one too. Raymond said, exactly, Darius. We don't make compromises for these white heroes. God forbid DC did this to Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman. The whole fandom would go up in flames. Indeed. D. Tissel said, folks who say they don't read comics, they're just regurgitating what they've heard others say. Right. That's like these anti-recasters. They don't know anything about the Black Panther franchise, comic franchise. They're going off of knowledge that they have in the MCU and things that they've seen people tweet or say, and get to know T'Challa in 5-minute videos on YouTube. That's it. Or get to know the Black Panther. DJF and Nice said they would have to put him in to BP3 if they bring him back in Secret Wars. And it says, CGZ said erase Wakanda forever. Cornelius said, no, that's why we want a recast the whole Wakanda. Yeah, that one too. Let's see. D. Sizzle said Forrest Whitaker survived Species. That is true too. I'm forgetting some. Raymond said, so what gifts or prize do I win if I'm right about Secret Wars? Is going to be mid as hell. Green Region Thrag said, damn, they never met for that scene. No, they never met for that scene, which is wild. That was all. Most of them did not film anything together. They all just green screened that stuff in. D. Sizzle said, if we're talking Jonathan Hickman's Secret Wars, T'Challa, Reed, Doom were the key players in that storyline, definitely. Executive Judge said, ATP, I'm gonna be in Secret Wars at this point. And we've got Cornelius said, her stand. Oh, we read that one. Okay, I think these are all the ones that Q was reading. It was. So I'll touch these at the bottom. And DJF and Nice said that would be dope if they had T'Challa as a Skrull and if Kang had Iron Man captured. Yeah, that'd be dope. That would be. CGZ said Blade is. That would be. That's a good one. I've never thought about the whole Kang displacing a different Iron Man and capturing. Anyway, CGZ said Blade is on his way out. Ghost Dog 8 said Wakanda Forever or X-Men Apocalypse. X-Men Apocalypse. Anything over Wakanda Forever. I've never seen Morbius, as you all know. I will watch Morbius. And you all know I said I don't want to see Morbius, but I will watch Morbius before I ever watch. And I will never watch Wakanda for never again. Ever. I will never watch that film again. Raymond said Heroes Reforged, Dwayne and Jazz, Jay Washington, Fantastic Frankie, those black people who interviews E-Man and Loki called him misogynistic in front of him. Coy, Robert, Campia. Oh, did they? Did Campia talk with them? Cornelius said, what do you mean on his way out? He ain't even here yet. They going to T'Challa Blade 2? I don't know on that one. D. Stizzle said MT will be the Beyonder. Cornelius said MT is Uncle Ruckus's variant. Raymond 2000 said, you said name him. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true. I did say name him. Yeah, bruh. Yeah. So that's what's kind of going on with the stuff with Secret Wars and everything. Raymond said, I named the people who are anti-recast or who would suck at the variant T'Challa cameo up like it's ice cream. You know, this is funny. This is a comment on the most recent video I just uploaded about the whole about Cat Williams and everything that he had to say. Whoever 1 in a million is commented and said,
You keep comparing the DC universe like they are successful. They are halting their entire universe because of how bad it is. I don't know why we're speaking about things that we all are aware of. Feel how you want. Feel how you want, but this is a terrible comparison. Their inability to be consistent is what makes them
in trouble now. So I think there's a misconception there, or maybe ears weren't completely open, or maybe we weren't completely focused in on what I was saying in that video. But let me break that down for you again, because I've said this many times. When it comes to the comparison that MT made to the recast crowd and the comparison that he made to us being a cult like the Snyderverse crowd, there's two completely different things. So in that video, the only thing I even bring up about DC is, I don't know how this is comparing DC, comparing the successes of one or the other or whatever, but the only thing I said about DC in that video was that they still get their they still get their Kal-El without it's just not going to be Henry Cavill, but they still get Superman. That's the only thing I said about that in that. That's not comparing the successes. What I'm comparing there is that you've got a group of fans that are upset that they don't get Henry Cavill as Superman, but they still get Superman. It's just not Henry Cavill. We are saying some of the same things that they have been saying, but just saying recast T'Challa, because we don't get to see him on screen anymore. That's gone. So it's not comparing the successes of one or the other. Everybody knows that DC's not successful. Everybody knows that DC hasn't been able to put asses in the seats. Everybody knows that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's Black Adam was the worst selling film of the year, I believe. Everybody knows that. This is not new shit. So I think I say this often. So I don't know if 1 in a million's watching. I don't know if he's in the chats. I don't know if I've never even seen him comment. But this lets me know that you're not a subscriber. This also lets me know that with you not being a subscriber, you're not paying attention to the things that I'm saying in videos. Because we've talked about DC and made them clipped into their own videos. We've talked about the comparison that MT has made about the Snyderverse crowd and the recast crowd. So it's not comparing those things. So as I always say, before you fix your fingers to comment shit, make sure that you know exactly what you're talking about. This is what I do. I get up here daily and do this. Before I get up here, I make sure that I am adequate and intelligent enough in knowing what I'm talking about. Because as you guys have always heard me say, I will never get up here and discuss something without fully knowing the facts behind it. Let's take it back to the day that Jeremy Renner got hurt. Everybody wanted me to talk about Jeremy Renner, but we didn't talk about it. Why? Because what did I say? I don't have enough facts. So I'm not going to discuss it without the facts. So I do this. You watch this. Let's make sure that we never confuse the two. I understand and know the ins and outs of what I'm talking about up here. I understand and know the ins and outs of what's going on with the DC universe and what's going on with the recast T'Challa crowd. So before you fix your Twitter fingers to comment paragraphs, make sure that you've proofread that shit and make sure that you've gone through this video multiple times and you understand exactly what I'm saying. But do not come onto my videos, if you're watching, do not come onto my videos and try to accuse me of inaccurately stating something. I know what I'm saying. Again, I do this. You watch it. Does anybody have anything else that they want to say? Because I did want to address that before I ended the stream tonight. We've got Gray that said, or Executive Judge said, what I miss. No, it was just a comment on the most recent video that I did for the what Cat Williams had to say about recast T'Challa and things like that. We just had somebody that came in inaccurately and stated something that made no sense. So yeah. Then we've got CGZ that said, you will never be able to explain to those who want to remain ignorant. Right. That's why I said at this point it's willfully being ignorant. And that's why I said keep all the Twitter accounts that have blocked me that I can't see. Please, if you're watching, I said this last time, keep blocking me. I don't want y'all to see mine. I don't need to see y'all's. Continue to block me. If that's the way we have to coexist in 2023 for us to not have these pointless, redundant, exhausting conversations with y'all, because y'all seem to not understand where the black community's coming from when we talk about T'Challa, get out, block me, bro. block me. Because like I said, we have 83 people watching right now, 42 likes. Not all 83 people are in the chat right now, so I don't know who's watching. It could be an anti-recaster. It could be 1 in a million. I don't know. But block me. Don't look at my shit. If you can't comprehend what we're trying to say, block me. And let me explain something. When you block me, I'm losing no sleep. I'm rejoicing at the block, honestly. I want you to block me because it doesn't make sense for us to try to coexist when you're not trying to understand the plight of another community. Then we've got Gray that said Recast T'Challa is calling for the heads of Nate Moore and Ryan Coogler. Or it's not calling for the heads of Nate Moore and Ryan Coogler either. That's a you know, I didn't even plan on talking recast tonight. But since we're here, that's very true too. We're not making posters holding up James Gunn's decapitated head or a decapitated head of Nate Moore and Ryan Coogler. That's the Snyderverse DC crowd doing that shit. We're not doing that. Bro, why is this hard to comprehend? What have we said since day one? It's been the base plate of this entire hashtag. We just simply want T'Challa back. You simply don't have to kill him. Nobody's making comparisons to a failing DC universe. No one's making comparisons to a failing rebooted, it's not even rebooted yet, but it's already muddy trying to reboot DC universe. Those comparisons aren't being made. Why would I ever compare the Black Panther franchise to the DC universe? I compared Henry Cavill's situation to the recast T'Challa situation because they are one and the same. The difference is you get Superman still on screen. We don't. We don't get our Superman. You get yours. We don't get ours. What did Cat say? White folks don't ever lose their superheroes. So no. Again, bro, like that's why it pisses me off. Like it pisses me off because you can sit through the entirety of a video, and maybe you didn't. Maybe you watched the first 3 minutes because it's a 9-minute video. Maybe you watched the first 3 minutes. Maybe you watched the first 20 seconds. But for you to sit through the entirety of a video, and that's what you comprehended from it, that's what you took away. You were more, because in that video I'm talking about why T'Challa is important to the black community. I dug deep into why he's important. And what your takeaway from, and I'm judging from your profile picture, you're a brother. Your takeaway from that, brother, was comparing DC? That lets me know where you really are. That lets me know where your mind is. That lets me know, again, the sides of the fences that are recast T'Challa. I've said that before, too, when it comes to the different layers of recast. There are layers to this shit. There's levels to this shit. And your takeaway from that video was the comparison of Henry Cavill. You could have saved your Twitter fingers for a different comment. We got D-Stizzle that said street mode activated. We got CGZ said hashtag recast T'Challa. Grand Region Drax said they play dumb. D-Stizzle said folks on the other side of the fence be watching. Yeah, they do. They definitely be watching. They lurk and watch and take the things that we say and try to twist it or flip the script or whatever and say, you know, this is what I'm talking about. They're being gatekeeping fanboys or this or that or whatever the other things it is we've heard. Grace said, when are you going to drop the historical negative black tropes video? Are we talking about the Black Panther video that I said I'm working on? Are we talking about that video, or are we talking about something else? Raymond 2000 said they know we're right. They don't want to go there because it's uncomfortable. It's an uncomfortable truth. But you know what? In 2020, that was one of the main things I said. Truth hurts. Educate yourselves. The truth hurts. Educate yourselves. You know, here's another truth. What did we just hear about Benedict Cumberbatch? That his family, the Cumberbatches in Barbados, owned a plantation of 250 slaves. And owning that plantation, those descendants of those slaves are seeking reparations from the Cumberbatches. This is not me speaking. These are in the headlines. It also came out that Benedict Cumberbatch his mother told him before he even started before he got into Hollywood, he was, prepping to be an actor. don't use the last name Cumberbatch because it's going to come back to bite you because our family owned slaves. Now, I'm not about to put the sins of Benedict Cumberbatch's ancestors on Benedict Cumberbatch because he didn't have shit to do with that. But I bring that up because the truth can hurt. It hurts. History can be uncomfortable. But again, I don't care about you being uncomfortable. We've been uncomfortable for 400 plus years. So you being uncomfortable for this little bit of time, I'm not fazed by that. They just need to be. They're just gonna have to accept that truth and be uncomfortable with that. Great. I'm still working on it because it's a lot to edit. Because it's not like it's not one of these videos where it's just I'm clipping it from the live. It's like I'm inserting. It's a lot. It's a lot, and it's real compact on how it is. So I'm working. I'm still working on it, but it is coming. It's coming. Dexter said, "I hope and pray that they do not go along with this T'Challa Jr. storyline." So do I. My mother in the chat said, "Some people will never get it. Better yet, choose not to get it." Yes, that is that being that willfully ignorant. D Sizzle said, "If fans gatekeep a little harder years ago, this mess might not have started." Right. D Sizzle said, "Yeah, that's not Benedict Cumberbatch's fault." No, that's not his fault. And Ed Norton too. Yeah. No, like I said, I'm definitely working on it. I'm definitely working on that video, Gray, and working on some other things. But yeah, no. That's all I really wanted to say. Because I just saw that comment and I was like, what the fuck is he talking about? And I'm assuming. Well, he just anyway. So yeah. That's what I have for you guys tonight. Tomorrow I will be back with you guys to talk some more things. We'll see what's in the news for tomorrow. One of these, not tomorrow. I guess I gotta get Bad Batch out. I have to get Bad Batch out, and I haven't even watched it yet, and I have to edit that thing and everything. So I've got to get that out. But we're gonna be live tomorrow. Yeah, we're gonna be live tomorrow. We'll be live tomorrow and Friday. So I'll be a little late on Bad Batch this week, but I got to get it out. So, I'll be back here with you guys tomorrow, and we'll be chatting and talking about some more things then. Also, again, appreciate all the love that everybody's been showing and giving on Twitter with everything going on. So, appreciate that. And like I said, we'll be back tomorrow. Subscribe to this video, subscribe to the channel if you're not. I appreciate everybody being here. And let me see, you guys know who you are. Kenny, D Stizzle, Gray, Dexter, Raymond, Greenridge and Thrag, C Jeezy, Executive Judge. Am I missing here? Cornelius, appreciate you being here. Ghost Dog, appreciate you being here. DJF and Nice, appreciate it. Chill Spot, appreciate you being here. Cleve17, Nico Bean, appreciate you being here. Comic Chameleon, I know you were up there earlier. Appreciate you being here. And let me see, Justin, appreciate you. Who else is in? Officially MG, appreciate you. Ant-Man 1991, Andre, appreciate you both being here. Am I missing anybody? Dougie Fresh, appreciate you being here. SB Flash, appreciate you being here. Naries, I know you were at the very top earlier. It won't let me scroll that far, but I remember you were here first, so I appreciate you being here too. Hungry Almighty, appreciate it. Top Networkers Group, appreciate you being here tonight. I think I said Cleve17, but if I didn't, appreciate you being here too. Am I missing anybody? I don't think so. I think Gregory Graves, appreciate you being here. Sir Sailor, appreciate you being here. And that's as far as it's letting me scroll. It's not letting me scroll up anymore. So all the names, everybody that's in the chat, appreciate all you guys being here. To Jinx, I just saw that. Appreciate you being here too. So everybody that's been here, hanging out in the chat, we will see you guys tomorrow. So like, subscribe, share this video, and we'll see you guys in the next one. You guys enjoy your night. Be safe. Much love.